heard a sound. Hey, I didn't see a transition, but we are here. Hello, welcome to the Tuesday stream. Big Ghoul, Scaver, Troll Skeletor, Joel, Rufus Kit, Nurgle Matthew, Mean Green. What up? StarCraft Jason. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate it, my friend. How you guys doing? Are you used to this Tuesday stream yet or what? I'm not. I kind of feel like it's like Tuesday and I have to do a stream in the middle of the week. It's all weird, but we're here. It's working. It's working. Mustafa, hello. Tabletop Tactics, Tabletop Apprentice. I can't say the rest of the name, but what up? Huddleston, love Blood Rage. Me too. I think it's Simon's best game, but I haven't played Ankh. I haven't played, I think it's called Rising Tide or like Red Rising Sun. I think I've played the rest though. Collective, thank you, sir. Scott, weekday, Pog? We're pogging right now. Morning, you handsome son of a bitch. Morning to you as well. Conciergio. I'm gonna need you to find me a streamer that can end cap my work week the way you used to. Maybe I can convince John to do that. They're dope. I'm glad. This will be awesome. Happy with these midweek streams. I'm glad. I've got my session 0 tomorrow. We're hanging out, drinking, painting minis for the campaign. Oh, like a D&D campaign or what? Finally made it to one. Welcome, Glass Joe. Good to have you. Tell me about this game. I'm noob outside of D&D and Warhammer 40K. I'm painting up some Ankh right now. Dang, what are the chances? Blood Rage is a area control board game. You play as various Viking clans, trying to claim territory, kill your opponents, and essentially acquire points to win. And it's a lot of fun. There are like many paths to victory that are all valid. It's not like one is obviously better or easier to accomplish than the other. You can be aggressive with military. You can be sneaky with some low-key tactics. All kinds of stuff. Rocket Man props. Thank you for the sub. Also, yes, there is drafting in the game, Huddleston, which is cool. You can draft a deck, which then determines how you're going to play the game. If you're going to go quest heavy, if you're going to go fight heavy, whatever you want to do. It's really good though. All right, let's get on to painting. Let me show you what I'm working on here, guys. So I am doing another 1 hour, 10-minute trial here. I can't see the active screen, I think.
Oh yeah, hang on.
You're good. Hey there, first time I caught you. I can't see anything.
Sorry.
You're good. So I'm doing this. I did this a while ago with some Reavers from Cool Mini or Not for the game of Song of Ice and Fire. Painted one in 10 hours, one in 1 hour, one in 10 minutes to kind of see how the strategy breaks down over the course of those models. And last time I did the 10-minute one, a lot of people gave me, feedback on maybe you should use contrast paint. And I didn't want to use contrast paint because that painting method is just so different than like normal painting methods that I felt like the comparison wouldn't be good. But now I'm thinking it'd be an interesting comparison just to see how close contrast paint can get to a result like this, or a result like this will be, which is going to be the 1 hour one. And maybe what we'll discover is like, okay, certain things I can phone it in. Like for instance, like maybe his hair, maybe his orange beard is going to look great with contrast paint. And maybe I can just paint his face really nicely and then do contrast paint for the hair. So I'm looking forward to what I discover is going to be like an okay like time to use contrast paint, and like how close it can get to like when I really put in a lot of effort. But now we're finishing this model today. I don't have a lot of stuff left. I've kind of done the majority of the hard work. How's the new studio? One Yeti, it is fantastic. Samo 4R, hey there. First time I caught you streaming. Do you answer people's questions for painting tips, or is that not a good time and place? I'm having an awful time trying to learn glazing. Watched every YouTube video out there, still doing a shitty job. Samo 4R, I think this is the perfect place to ask painting questions. And if you ask some Evan, the stream producer, hello,
Yeah.
Evan.
Hi.
he will feature your question in the top left of the screen, and then I'll try to answer it. Who's your favorite submission on this topic so far, and why is it me? It's you as a thought because you're a beautiful person.
Yeah, see, I can feature it just like this.
Woo! Look at that.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Samo, I don't know exactly what your problem is with glazing, and maybe you can let me know so I can better answer your question. But I think one thing that kind of helped me with glazing that I recently discovered is that washing stuff works well on glossy surfaces, which makes sense. It breaks surface tension more easily. It kind of collects in those recesses more easily. So the opposite is true for glazing, because you don't want that to happen with glazing. You want smooth application of paint. You don't want things to get streaky and coffee stainy. So when you glaze on top of a matte paint, that works really well. So if you know you're going to work on, if you know a significant part of your painting process includes glazing, for whatever reason, consider applying a base coat of matte paint in the beginnings to make your glazing process easier. That's my thoughts. Scott, you doing this video topic again, and you use the same color scheme and Vikings? Okay, hear me out. Okay, CMON just makes games where you have identical models, which is perfect for this thing. So I use this. 2, these are the coolest ones in the box, I think, these models. 3, the color is really the problem, right? But they have these base circles and the cards for this clan, they're all blue. And so I was kind of just like, man, I'm doing the same thing over again. I'm not trying to, but I can't take the blue clan and not paint them blue. I think my OCD would light on fire. Fired for effect, thanks for the $3. Sorry, I missed your message. Evan, maybe you could read it for us?
Super sick you're answering questions. Thanks for all the help over the years and getting me back into painting.
Excellent. Stanley Yim, thanks for the 200 bits. Scott, that was a weirdly insane point about glazing. I've never heard that before, and I just clicked. I just discovered it maybe like 3 months ago, and it's amazing. It really is amazing. You guys should try it out. Try glazing on Citadel paint, try glazing on Scale 75 paint. The difference is night and day. All right. What are we gonna do right now? I was painting some black stuff, some silver bits, black. Let's continue to do that.
Uddleston wants to know if you have any advice specifically for painting black fur, like for a black Labrador Retriever.
Ooh. I think it's helpful to look at reference materials because, I don't know, a lot of dogs have different kinds of fur. Some will be more like brown than others. Some will be more like blue than others. And so I find that, one, it's helpful just to kind of check out maybe what a dog that you're trying to imitate looks like, first and foremost. 2, most dogs, I don't know if all dogs do, have really glossy fur. And so you're gonna be like kind of essentially doing, like a version of NMM, but not as glossy, but on fur. So you kind of got to prepare yourself for that mentally.
Yeah, dogs are kind of greasy.
Yeah, they're all greasy and nasty. So you're gonna be like probably using really bright brights on your black dog, like even like whites or super bright gray. But you're probably gonna be using them in very small quantities, like in very select areas. So what I would do is I would like blend on the doggo, like I was painting a detailless, kind of amorphous model. Like I'm not concerned about like the individual strands of hair at this point, right? So I'm blending across this doggo. I'm getting the highlights and shadows where I want them to be, and then when I'm happy with the distribution of highlights and shadows, and it kind of looks good when I'm kind of squinting at it, give it the squint test. When it looks good, or it's like 85% of the way there, then I'll start like coming back in with blacks and dark grays and like kind of getting that fur texture in there. Kind of depends on how detailed the model is, if you can do something like that. But yeah, that's an an approach you could take. Dayord, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it.
Wilson says that was very helpful, Scott.
Oh, I'm very glad. Sometimes I feel like when I answer a question, I'm like, I have definitely said this before, like even like multiple times before. And so I feel like, everyone's heard this, but I think if I just get over that, the answer to the question is probably very helpful to, the person asking. Because they probably haven't heard the answer yet, which is why they're asking. But yes, this model is a Viking. It is blue, but I am trying to paint it in a different way than the last one, using different kinds of blues, different kinds of, colors, like he's a redhead. This guy's mostly, you can see his skin on his face mostly. So I don't know. I don't know if it makes a difference, but yeah, I am sorry that I'm doing virtually the same fucking thing as last time.
Never painting a Viking again, except for maybe the rest of that Greyjoy army.
Oh, baby, I have a plan for that.
Oh, spoilers.
I got a plan to get those all finished up. Or not all finished up, but an army of them finished up for an episode of Kill Your Friends.
Is the plan to go on Fiverr and hire for someone?
No, it's for me to paint it. But I should do that for the rest of my armies.
That's like the ultimate clickbait. The ultimate and fastest way to paint your army.
I can pay someone else to do it.
it's just you going on the site and commissioning like one unit from like 5 different painters.
Dang, dude.
Week turnaround times.
I should do that.
That's also an April 1st video idea.
Oh shit, it is. Man, I should write that down. I'm absolutely gonna write that down. It's a super expensive one. Video idea, but why not?
You're saying that, and yet you commissioned a custom sculpture of your favorite character from a video game.
Yeah, but I didn't have to pay for that.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, the Fade one I did have to pay for.
Yeah, okay.
I was kind of just curious. I was like, what's the payoff of this gonna be? Am I gonna get my $2,000 back?
Oh,
I did not.
$2,000.
I did not get it back. But I tried.
Sentimentality matters a bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I also didn't give that model away for free because I wanted to be the only person who had it. But for this Void Spirit one that I didn't have to pay for, I'm absolutely giving that one away for free. So if you want to paint a Void Spirit model from Dota 2, it'll be available when that video comes out. Man, I can't remember. I have 2 Google Drives that I actively use, and it's the dumbest thing in the world. And I can't ever remember where I put anything. Video ideas, there it is.
One day this is going to be a Void Spirit painting stream.
One day.
23 EDSA. Edsa.
One day. Look at all these. Ooh, hey! Viewer picked up enamel pin. Thank you. If you're gonna buy merch during the stream, which if so, I really appreciate it. There should be the ability to type your name in and also a message in that will get sent to the stream. If anyone wants to try something out, let me know, because I added that in a couple days ago.
I will say, do we have to do anything in the scene to enable that? It should just work, right?
It should just work because the values that asset uses are set on the website, so the website should just hand it to OBS.
I'm very hopeful that it works.
I'm hopeful as well. If you try it, sound off in the chat so we can do some testing. I don't know the best way to test this app, to see if that actually works.
Yeah, you can click the test button, but what you get out of it is different because we don't know what the checkout link up is, basically, if it's actually working. Riveting stream of Scott typing on his phone.
Okay, the idea is locked away. I've credited Evan case I ever do it. Let's do
Sweet.
it.
That means I get all the money from the video. You heard it here.
That's exactly what that means. Fucking wishes. All right, let's paint these pants. There's a color that I love from Scale 75 called Bearing Blue. It's this color. And I love it so much because I love to highlight black with it. So let's do that.
I will say that the sound notification definitely worked.
For the merch?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because you guys need to be deafened with that constantly.
And I will say that stream labels is definitely not working today, no matter how many times I restarted.
Excellent. That might have had something to do with the fact that all the stream labels got moved to the desktop, and then I moved them all back.
It's an urban legend.
I was just trying to break my stream, you know?
Yeah, it's always me breaking the stream for sure.
Yeah.
It's all right. I'll work on fixing this.
Deafening roar has a new meaning now. Indeed. Salty Miniatures, what up? Ogre Magi. Let's see, if I had to make another Dota 2 mini, the one that I would personally pick would definitely be Lena. Lena, Mars, a lot of Mars. What else do I play? I don't know, I don't play a lot of Dota as of late. I'm turning into more of a Dota watcher than I am a Dota player, which I hate. Okay. A little bit too dark right now on these pants. I'm gonna introduce some black back into the shadows where I want it to be. And then we'll kind of come back in with that gray-blue color that we had earlier. And kind of blend it into this large amount of black that I just put in. To hopefully kind of tune down this brighter bearing blue and blend in this black that I'm kind of like aggressively putting in. I don't want it to stay like that. If the pants stay like that, they kind of look like it's just like he's wearing like reflective Jafar pants, which I love Jafar, but not the look I'm going for. Can you even print without them? Print what? Did you try printing the Void Spirit model I made? I don't think I did, you know? I could try though. Are my glasses getting in the way of the camera?
A little, but don't worry about it right now.
Okay. I would love to try printing that model though.
I fixed the stream labels.
Oh, great.
I don't know how, but I did.
That's always good.
No, that's the worst.
I love that kind of solution.
Oh, man. Because then you can't repeat
Yeah,
things.
exactly. What up, Nadia Crisis? Is that name a reference to the game Crisis? Because if so, let's talk. Yeah, you should DM me that Void Spirit model again, and I'll print it. You don't think this model has enough weapons? Yeah. Greetings from Slovakia. What up, Corn? All right. You know what? I'm actually not going to use that gray color. I'm just going to use pure black. And I'm going to glaze it in. Maybe even run over some of these highlights a bit. Kind of tune them down. A bit too intense.
These pants are big. They aren't that big. What, Zeeg? Picking up a classic hoodie in large. Need more shirts.
Hey, it
And
worked.
a classic t-shirt.
Why is there's an exclamation mark before the need more shirts? He must have did that, okay. Oh, no, I get it. Okay, I get it. There's an exclamation mark on
Yeah, it did a weird line break thing.
Okay. Yeah, there it's doing it again. What up, Major Ursa? Why large size was your wife picture? She's just the default image for the hoodie.
This is the purchase of like everything in the store, it seems like.
Yeah, thank you, Wutska. Or was it Wutska?
WUTZGE.
Yeah, Wutska.
Yeah.
You didn't buy the Duchess.
That's true.
How could you? I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad that those little fields are actually working too. The website's going to get a bit of a facelift soon here. Currently going through rounds of feedback about how to make it look even better with a website developer.
You worked in tech. That means you're basically a website developer, right?
Yeah, anyone who has any software engineering skills knows how to make a website.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't take a single web development course.
I've watched enough YouTube videos to know that all I have to do is go to Squarespace.
Yes.
Type in Squarespace and website appears. Boom. Done.
Yeah.
Barney 321 has resubscribed. 4 months.
Let me start to introduce some more of this gray blue.
What's the command to pull up the Discord stuff? Is it just Discord?
Pull up the Discord stuff?
Yeah, for people who are subs to the channel. Yeah, it is. Boom.
Yeah. For the base, I'm definitely thinking snow. But for the video, I don't think I'm going to do any base because I want you to be able to compare the models one-to-one without a base influencing the paint job. But I will add some kind of...
Amisha Strife, it is not Uther Lightbringer. It is a model from a game by Simon called Blood Rage.
I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do this model justice because I don't know. I see people like Honor Guard or Oliver Space on Facebook and Instagram, like making really beautiful versions of Blood Rage models and also just models in general that like aren't super immaculately detailed. And I always get a little upset when the model has like poorly defined detail, as you guys could tell when I was painting that Dungeons and Doggos model. And this model definitely got a little bit of that going on, a little bit of wonk detail, but I'm happy on this 10-hour trial with how I've been able to get everything to read nicely.
Who did you just mention?
Oliver Spaeth. This is his real name, but his name on Instagram is Honor Guard. If you check out his Instagram, you'll be able to find a couple of good options or a couple of good examples of how he can render models that are just like, I don't know, they're just...
Oh, he's the one that painted that chameleon.
Chameleon.
Here, I'll put it for a second. That one? Have you seen that before?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Mine now.
336 picking up a Miniac cutting mat. Says it's mine now.
It is yours. You did pay for it. Rufus Kit, what band? Because I can't find the song. What song are we talking about?
Someone mentioned that they got out of web development around the time of CSS3, and I said that CSS Sucks is a great song by a great band called CSS.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wait, is that for real?
Yeah.
We should add a scene that would allow us to go on a web browser.
That's too dangerous.
It is possibly too dangerous. You can't see the Reddit that Evan's surfing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm adding a very tiny amount of a diluted bearing blue. Because if I add too much of this stuff, it's gonna just make it not look black. It's kind of already there at this point. Shoot. I'm just trying to do it very sparingly. What's a model sculpt that inspired you lately in terms of coming up with a story? You're welcome, Tabletop Collective. I'm glad it came quickly. Shout out to my wife, making that shit happen. A model that inspired me recently. A story, eh? I don't think I have a good answer to your question, Krish. I haven't painted a lot of narrative-driven pieces yet, but there is one that I have coming up from Nico Galaxy that definitely spoke to me in a narrative way. I don't know her name. I think her name was like Aikido. No, it's not. That's the first model they made. I can't remember the name of it exactly, but there was a model and she's dual wielding akimbo Uzis and they're golden. And that model spoke to me narratively. So yeah, I can't remember her name though. Hey, what's a good way to batch paint? Would you start at the deepest part of the model or somewhere else? I've learned a lot of orcs. I have a lot of orcs I have to paint and need advice. We'll get there, Evan.
Feature chat just went nuts. I clicked 1+ and it went, want to show all these?
Batch painting advice, eh? I don't know if I'm the right person to ask about batch painting. Where would I deep parts? I would start on the color that allowed me to airbrush. I would pick, on a Space Marine, it's their power armor, and a Dark Eldar, it's, their armor, and a skeleton to be their bone.
Big cloaks.
Big cloaks, yeah. Like, that's another thing is, even if the part of the model isn't on the front of the model, if there's an element on the mini that's gonna take you a while to paint, like, try to airbrush that. I would start there first. As a thought, what's a good way to make Evan's featured question flip out and span the window? Just like that. Eparuza, you mentioned some videos in the past that you didn't like software engineering. What aspect of it did you not like? Nonetheless, I'm super happy to see you enjoying what you do today. I think it was just, I still like software engineering because I still do it as like a hobby for like my home theater PC stuff. So I still do it.
I'm not going to hobby shame you, but that is a pretty esoteric hobby.
It is.
I software engineer on the side for fun.
But it's so useful, you know?
That's true.
It's like being able to 3D sculpt a thing that you need. Like, for instance, there was a knob on the back of my fan that you used to change the speed, and it popped off and we lost it. And I 3D sculpted and printed it, and now we have a knob for the fan. That's like a super, maybe it's not like super useful, but like when you need that ability, it's very nice to have. That's basically my my story, is that I don't have any like real good marketable skills, but I have some very niche ones that when needed are very handy.
It's also a skill that benefits from continued use. Just like miniature painting, if you leave something behind for a long time, it starts to atrophy.
Oh yeah.
Any sort of coding, mathematics, all that stuff. Doing a little bit of it to just keep yourself sharp.
That is definitely true.
Rocket Man Props wants to know, would you ever pick up pre-painted minis? Also, our friend viewer picked up a Duchess Masterclass.
Thank you, viewer.
Yeah, would you ever buy pre-painted minis or something along those lines? Or is it self-painted or commission painted or bust?
I kick ass for the Lord.
You know, I've been kind of thinking about this. Insomniac Overdose. Thank you for the sub. I've kind of been thinking about like the longevity of Kill Your Friends, and I always want to play on that series on my channel with a painted army. And I'm kind of like, how do I guarantee, or how do I make it easier to have a fully painted army whenever I want to play a game of like, whatever. Maybe I don't always just paint it myself. Maybe I'll actually like commission someone. Or if like, to me, commissioning something or finding what you want already painted is the same thing. It's just easier to commission someone to get exactly what you want versus finding it. I'm not really thinking about what I'm doing. I'm just painting these pants like endlessly. I need to think about what I'm doing.
Endless pants.
Endless pants. Endless Jafar pants. So yeah, I don't really see a difference in those, but I feel like there's definitely a part of me that would pay for or commission models for like work-related purposes. But like for my own personal stuff, I don't really need to pay for painted models.
I will tell you, as someone who's played against Scott's army several times, Scott doesn't feel it's important to have a painted army. And he really loves when people chide him about it.
Chide.
Yeah, professional mini painter doesn't have a painted army. It's a very tired joke.
I love it.
But I don't get tired of it.
Oh my God. Kill me. Yeah, I do think, I think it's important to have painted models, but I'm gonna do it in my time. All right, let's paint some belts.
I really just want a button that plays the meme every time we talk about belts.
Talk about what?
4 strength, 4 stam. I might do it. Annoying soundboards are kind of my style.
Cool video, put paint and base your minis. That is a good one. To be frank, I don't have a single fully painted army, but I have painted full armies for friends. That is sadly also my reality.
Chris creates, what immersion are you looking to give your opponents? Because like for me, I'm someone who never paints their army lore accurately. I have a Night's Watch army that I have redubbed the Day's Watch that all have sky blue capes and gold and green colors on them. And yes, I have received mean comments about it based off of people's immersion.
Have you?
Yeah, not in person.
Okay.
Just when I share it online.
Really?
I don't think anyone's bold enough to...
Like actual mean comments?
Yeah.
Like, what do they say?
It's like, there are people who are very lore purist about this kind of stuff.
Immersion.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, that's
So
insane to me.
the question then becomes, song, and there are many games like it, is approachable enough that not playing with a painted army is pretty common. Would they rather me just play with the, for Night's Watch, it's gray plastic or Lannister red plastic or whatever? Or would they like a fully painted, like still realistically painted, and I would say painted pretty decently army, even if it's not the right colors?
Dude, the answer to this question is so obvious to me.
Yeah, I agree. But there are people out there that are going to answer it differently.
Yeah, I suppose so. Veloxo or Velo XOXO, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. What up, Dan? Dan in the chat. It's all me making fun of. Come on, you don't paint your armies out there, Dan. Get out of here. It's because you have like 17 more than me, but that doesn't get you off the hook. Tabletop Collective, any advice on keeping inspired to finish an entire army? Again, I don't think I'm the right person to ask. I don't think I have an idea. I think it's just about fucking grinning and bearing it, just get through it. Like this is the thing you're doing for the next 2 months or whatever amount of time it's gonna be. Like that's just what you're doing. Like, so just, get it over with. Hey, I have one painted Night's Watch model, Scott. Lol. Dan is, of course, referring to the model that I painted that he owns of Night's Watch. Have you done it?
I added a Dan command.
What does it say?
Dan isn't here, but he is a buoy head.
He's a buoy head?
A buoy head.
What does that mean?
It's a childish insult that has no real relevance or meaning.
Okay.
And anyone who would take that seriously is probably themselves a buoy head.
As a thought, I'm not sure. It sounds like Evan might be suggesting that it is that way.
Ooh, that's a good idea, actually. I wish there was a way to make it so the command could increment a number, so that every time someone asked about Dan, it would add a rock to his pocket.
Oh my God.
Dan isn't here, but he currently has X number of rocks.
That would be very...
Wait a minute. I might be able to.
Make it happen.
Yes! I figured it out. Okay, sweet.
Scott, I sent you some stickers. Oh, thank you.
It's working. Amazing.
Is the information stored on Nightbot?
Yes.
Perfect. So I'm gonna fucking do it.
Congratulations, Dan. You're a meme now.
So you know how you wanted like lower third labels for like players' names on the gaming stream?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you want to watch us play a variety of miniature war games, this month is truly going to be a variety. You should check us out every Thursday evening from 7:10 p.m. CST. This next week, if me and Curtis can find the time, there is time tomorrow. We might try to play Kill Team. And we're gonna play. We're gonna reveal some cool things on our Song of Ice and Fire stream. We're also gonna play Blood Bowl this month, so come check it out. Every Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. CST.
Yep. And I have GMT times in the chat as well. Schedule is posted to the Twitch page. You can follow the calendar, and it'll add it to your, calendar tracker of choice. For most people, that's probably going to be Google Calendar, but maybe you're adding it to your work Outlook because you want to block out that time and be available to watch us rather than, do things that make you money.
Makes sense to me.
I agree. Strongly agree. Also, did we catch Barnes and Bears
I did it.
subscribing with Prime?
I did not.
Well, now we did.
Thank you for the sub, Barnes and Bears. If you guys don't know, you can attach your Amazon Prime account to Twitch and then give one Twitch Prime sub to one channel every single month. So if you haven't done that ever, you definitely want to give that money to me and not Jeff Bezos. So hook me up. I still have your Nachmund Kill Team book. God damn it, man. Could you? Do I need that book to play the game, or can I just like look at any current rule book for Kill Team and play the game? You know, as a thought, do I need the latest expansion book to play?
You only need the Nachmund book if you're playing a Nachmund faction.
So if I play Sisters of Battle, do I need to use those ladies that came in the box with the towel, or can I use normal SOB models? Of course, you need the newest. Give GW that cash. Just 2 factions and some missions. The compendium has normal sisters. Oh, but does the game include like a real Kill Team faction for sisters if you use those models? It's like you can play the sisters in 40K, but they're gonna suck ass. If you want to play the real sisters, you gotta buy this box. Hey man, SOB Noviates are great for Kill Team. I'm sure they are. But I already have a largely painted and assembled Sisters of Battle Kill Team that I would love to use instead of assembling those ones before Thursday. That's basically it. All right. Well, Curtis is playing fucking, obviously, Nids. And I don't know if his are any good.
It's Curtis, so he's gonna win. We know that.
We know that. Well, we're actually playing Guild Ball this next stream. I forgot. And God willing, I will win that game. The last time we played Guild Ball, he actually won. I had never played against a Butcher team before, but now I know what they do, and so now I should be fine. So the whole thing with Morts is that they want to know what the opponent wants to do so they can stop them from doing it. Now I know he wants to kill me a lot. So I'll just draft a team that isn't easily killed. Curtis lost to Dan. Yes, technically.
Technically.
He did lose. Sorry, I didn't mean to like suggest anything about the win conditions. They were totally valid. Do I need to borrow the compendium? Maybe. What advice would you give someone wanting to start a hobby YouTube channel? Be a student of the medium. Watch videos from people making videos. Watch some higher subscribe channels. Take notes about what they're doing that you like and what they're doing that you also don't like. And then make a channel based on those observances. Observances? Is that?
Observations.
Observation. What the fuck?
Too much brush liking.
Yeah. Kill Team exists for 40K players to realize that better rules exist. 40K players don't care about better rules. If they did, they'd play a different company's game. Fired for effect. Thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Sick tip, use Prime. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
There are other advantages to linking the two as well. It's not just giving us the little bit of free money that you've got. When you link the two, you get access to the Prime gaming stuff. If you are a degenerate person who plays video games, you can get all kinds of cool stuff with the games that they have tie-ins for, like Warframe and Fortnite, various other things.
Love Fortnite.
Yeah, you know, if you're into that kind of stuff. I think GTA Online does it pretty often as well.
I am not Gen Con bound, but Evan is.
Yeah, I won't be here for the Thursday stream, so look forward to, cavalcade of technical errors and, like the studio being on fire and stuff, or everything just working fine. Probably that, but we'll see. But I will be at Gen Con. Dan will be at Gen Con. We will be at Gen Con together. He's going to be doing, work stuff. I'm going to be also there. John Von Doom says that he's going to be sure to go to AdeptiCon next year. And he's bummed that he missed this year. I know, Scott, you are a big fan of AdeptiCon, and that's kind of your main one.
Absolutely. John Von Doom is one of my... my webcam go lower?
So whenever you hunch over to start painting, it completely puts you out of frame. So I'm framing you for painting, Scott.
Can you...
No.
Zoom it out?
Not really.
Oh, okay. Should I zoom it out on my end?
The problem is once I zoom it out, the crop gets all bad.
If I optically zoom it out, would that give you more room to work?
No, I don't think that's what we want to do. See, I can do it this, which is the full zoom out. Then it's like framed a little funny. That's okay.
It's not okay. Move that shit over. You can't punch in a little bit?
Hang on.
Yeah, there we go. Got to meet Scott at AdeptiCon a couple years ago. Had a blast. Heck yeah. Remember that. I won't be at Gen Con. I have a drill. I'll be going to AdeptiCon next year, though. Awesome. That is true. There is no reason why it needs to be so wide. It could just be a square. What camera lens setup is ideal to shoot mini painting? You want a zoom lens that doesn't get darker when you zoom it in. So that's called a constant aperture lens. And I would say the right focal range is 24 to 70 millimeter. If you're on a micro 4/3 body, that's about 12 to 35 millimeter. Obviously the crop factor changes based on the camera body you're using. But so full frame 2470 is a good focal range for mini painting and all the various things you might encounter along the way.
Azathos wants to pressure you into going into more conventions. What is the main hang-up that keeps you from going to, every convention imaginable?
Well, I think in my old age, I'm becoming more of a introvert. And I really value just being alone. And so I don't want to go to a ton of conventions and, have to do that for a full weekend. It costs money to go to them. And also my wife really likes my company. And when I leave, she is alone. And so all those reasons combined together make me want to stay home and be a little baby loser.
John is checking in the chat.
What up, John?
Following our advice, shirking work to hang out. And our friend viewer, our best friend viewer, picked up a Mini X sticker pack.
I love viewer. Viewer's my homeboy. And a hat.
Yeah.
Speaking of John, there he is.
John mean mugging the camera.
Viewer's fucking loaded, dude.
Yeah. Pretty much made of money.
Bring your wife to some conventions. I mean, that would just make it less fun for me. I love my wife, but she is not interested in what conventions have to offer. And so she would just want to, say we went to Chicago. She'd want to go, explore Chicago instead of being at the convention. And I would just want to be...
Exploring Chicago with her?
No. I don't want to be, being a degenerate in the con halls on some form of, drugs. Okay. Got that bandaged thing painted. Are there other black things? I know there's the other one in his other forearm I gotta paint still. Maybe his boots, his booty boots. Yeah, we'll do the boots briefly. The Dan command's getting some views. Doing drugs at cons is the epitome of a 2010 vibe. Is it? I feel like it's a perma vibe, dude. Okay, let's paint the other one. This one is a bit bigger. So kind of like I was talking about painting that dog earlier. I'm gonna paint this forearm thing like it's one cylinder. And I just did a wet blend of very dark gray blue to black across his entire forearm, not really caring about each individual strap on his forearm. And then later, I'm gonna come back in and pick out those straps with edge highlights and recessed shades. This Turek Saint, thank you also for the Prime sub. Maybe while it's still wet, I don't know if I spoke long enough, I can even just get some straight up bearing blue on this top 15% or whatever.
So when do you think that you and John are going to do your next in-person class, Scott?
LVO, January, Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
Maybe we do another one this year, because that's none this year. I don't know. You know,
Do a pop-up class.
we'll pop up. Maybe we should just do another Minnesota class, because it's so easy to do those, because like we already know where we're going. I don't know. There are so many things to worry about that sometimes I just feel a little overwhelmed and don't want to add more things on top of the pile.
So the class you're hosting at LVO is Long Format Class Fundamentals of Advanced Miniature Painting with Miniac and Ninjon, correct?
That sounds right, yeah.
There already is a booking thing on the Frontline Gaming webpage. I'll make a command for that, actually. Why not?
Commands for everything.
That's right. I have the power.
I've got the power. Getting a little too messy with my wet blending here. All right, I'm gonna get some black ink to mix with my black paint. Whew. Seattle pop-up. What up, Adric Knight? Thanks for all the advice about my about moving into the office, Adric Knight. I meant to mention you in the video itself, but I forgot. And I really sorry about that. Adric Knight gave me a lot of really good advice about setting up live streams and other camera-related things for storage and stuff like that, such that I could use all the advice for my office, and he's familiar with it because he works in the video industry, production industry, and so he gave me a lot of really good advice. That's otherwise hard to come by unless you just kind of experience it for yourself and suffer. I always can't get. There's always stuff on the bottom of these Dollar and Rowney glass jars that I can't get out. So I always take a crappy brush and try to scrape it off the bottom.
Yeah, is it not just me that those inks seem to gum up like a lot?
What do you mean by gum up?
I have a bottle of Rowney white ink that the dropper is now unusable because
Oh.
like the pigment separated enough in there that there's just gloop in it. I could probably dig it out with like a teeny, like a sewing needle or something. But I've had not the best luck with those ink bottles.
I haven't experienced clogging the dropper bottle nib, but I could see that happening probably because like you stick it in, and there's like if there's like a lot of sediment on the bottom, you're like essentially stabbing it into the sediment,
Yeah.
and then it would probably get clogged. So yeah, maybe that's what's happening. But I haven't had that experience. Has anyone else had that experience with one like this, or like Liquitex have a similar thing? Does the dropper bottle itself get clogged?
I've only had that fully happen with the white. My black ink also is kind of gets gloopy, but the burnt umber and burnt sienna inks that I've had zero issues of separation. So, Azathoth wants to know, you ever have the issue where the rubber handle on the dropper breaks free from the rest of the cap when you try and unscrew it? I've had that happen one time.
Yes, that does happen to me, but I don't know if it ever really makes it unusable. I kind of just shove it back on there and then it works.
Bookman DDK, first time in the chat, says, Miniac, you're a good painter.
Thank you. Also, we got the honest wargamer here. Guys, if you want to see how a real gaming stream should work, go check out Rob the Honest Wargamer on Twitch. Also, thank you, Bookman DDK. I appreciate it. All right. So now we got some super high flow and glossy black paint, essentially. I'm gonna get a size 0 brush here and try to do some lines. It's okay if you can't like do the full recess shade. You can just continue it.
Scott, are you on your mark right now?
Yes?
Now you are.
Oh, shoot.
You've slowly crept upwards and upwards from where you originally started painting.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
It's all right. That's why I'm pointing it out.
Yeah, so right here, that black and black paint and black ink mixture. I can't really see where the strappy texture is supposed to be. So I'm kind of just, I don't know, winging it. And that, I mean, once you add a couple highlights in that recess shade, it looks totally fine. It doesn't need to be where that detail actually is. Did you just snap your fingers?
I did.
Was there a reason?
Just checking something.
Ah. Now we got some straps up in there. I even pre-ordered the new Warcry box. From what John was showing me, it seemed incredibly unimpressive. The warbands were not very interesting aesthetically. I didn't know you could use sable brushes with inks. Absolutely. Don't do it. Just watch Scott. He's hot. Oh, you're pretty good. You're pretty good looking too, Rob. Yeah, I don't use normal inks. I use acrylic high flow inks. I think it says it on the bottle, or it just says acrylic ink. I know there are different kinds of like India inks and stuff like that for like drawing with like a pen. I have never used those for mini painting. So if you have and you have experience with that, sound off, let me know. new rules are good. That is true, actually. Now that you mentioned that, I did hear that there are reactions. It's alternating activation in Warcry, and there are reactions built into the game. So slowly, GW get closer and closer to basically Guild Ball, which I am for. Sometimes you don't get full opacity with those recessed shades, and you gotta go back in. But also sometimes you mess up with your highlighting and you run over those recessed shades, and you need to redo them.
Tabletop Collective wants to know, do you use the same setup for your painting videos as you do your stream?
Yeah, basically, but I don't record to the computer. I record to the camera internally, and so I have a higher quality video file to work with, essentially. But yeah, to monitor my footage, I use OBS. With this monitor right here that I'm looking at right now. 10 rocks! Oh my gosh, this is getting out of hand. I wonder, okay, so you know how I mixed that black ink with the black paint? I wonder if I could do the same thing for this edge highlight that I'm doing right now that would benefit from a higher flow paint. I have this paint over here. I think it's called Cerulean Blue. And you might see this color and be like, holy cow.
Whoa!
That isn't the same hue at all. It totally isn't, but if I mix it with black, it's gonna tone it down really fast. So let's see if we can do that. I always look for bubbles on the bottom of the container to know whether or not I have fully mixed all the pigment into the binder. And this one seems to be better. In terms of being able to mix by just shaking it. So I'll put a little bit of that in my palette. I didn't even use a dropper. That was just on the end of the dropper. And then I will mix it with black paint to get a hue that I want. I might need to also mix some normal paint.
What's normal paint?
Acrylic paint, not ink. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually gonna try to mix the ink with the bearing blue and not the black, because I want it to stay pretty bright. Just need a tiny amount. Tiny bit of black. Okay, let's try that out. This is especially helpful on minis where sometimes the detail is a little rough, either because you made it rough because it's a PVC model and you were scraping it with an X-Acto knife, like me, or it's just a poor cast. Oof. Lovely.
Kappa Wiki had a question that I want to feature here. Do you have any pointers how to paint a bust to look more comic book style? Got a bust of Homelander from the boys board game. Want to try something new?
The Boys has a board game?
The boys, this is going to hurt the board game. Looking at it right now.
Lovely. So
Yeah, I see he's talking about this bust here. I just put it on your monitor.
oh my god.
It's clearly based on the comics, not
It's a lot
the
of
show.
torso there.
It's a lot of torso in that bust.
Here, let me finish painting with this edge highlight paint, and then I will answer your question very detailed. Do I have anything to paint on this side? Not really. I don't care about that shit. Looks like I got some black on his thumb here. Let me just fix that up. I'm not sure if you guys noticed this. Check out the fingernails. Never painted fingernails before, but I have on this model. Okay.
Give me just 1 second, Scott.
Yeah.
Do a thing here.
Yeah, you're good. So
Oh,
I think when it comes to painting in a more comic book style, obviously there are tons of different comic books out there and tons of different art styles. So you never really know, exactly what, or exactly how to make it look like a comic book, right?
this is a picture of the bust that we're talking about, by the way.
Yeah. And so I would say the best way to mimic a comic book style is to go with what's most common. And I think what's most common, what most people associate with comic book style, is layers of color that aren't blended, at least super smoothly. So in the miniature hobby world, we love soft blends, right? So I painted this model, and there aren't a lot of harsh transitions from one color to the next. Sometimes there is because of how the size of the model works. But most times everything is blended pretty smoothly, even if it has texture with stippling built into it. That's still a pretty smooth transition. In the comic book world, there is no transition. There is just a step from one color to the next. So if you wanted to paint in a comic book style, you would basically paint the way you do normally, but you would not blend. Which I guess sounds easier at face value, but in truth is, I think, way harder of a way to paint.
Something you can see too is sometimes the style will straddle that too. Like in that background on that boy's image, you can see that the face has a blend, but it also has stark black lines and abrupt transitions of color. So capturing all that style can be so difficult.
Yeah, and there you go. So there's a great example of a comic book style that doesn't use what I'm talking about. But yeah, that black, insane contrast shadow is an option for you. But yeah, it's tricky because you probably can figure this out for yourself, but you go take black paint and paint on skin tone, Caucasian skin tone. It's not easy to just put that on a model and make it look okay. You could, instead of doing like a typical blend from one color to the next, you could do dots, like polka dots, like actual distinct polka dots, and that would look like comic book style. So I think to unlock comic book style, it's all about figuring out how to play with those transitions to make them look like comic book illustrating and coloring. I think that's the biggest thing. Okay. The more I paint this model, the more I begin to realize that it's going to be challenging to paint this model in 10 minutes. Which I thought about that when I first did this video. I was like, I'll pick Reavers from Greyjoy because they're pretty lacking in detail. But now that I am painting this guy, I'm a little concerned that it's going to be pretty hard to paint him quickly. Okay, I think that was all the belty stuff, right? We good on belts for now? I might try to do some cleanup here. Okay, we are almost ready to start metallics. Just have a couple more belts to go.
Got a problem with me linking to other creators' YouTube pages in the chat, Scott?
No, I do not.
I kick ass.
Hey, thanks for the Prime sub, Zillanos. Appreciate it. Tried to put some edge highlights on these tiny gaps in between the black and maroon belt, but it didn't work out.
Scott, if you could push a button and get free Cane's tendies for life at the cost of John never being able to drink Mountain Dew or Diet Mountain Dew ever again, would you push that button?
Absolutely. No hesitation. John can find a different soda to drink.
Sorry, John.
He walks in with a different drink every podcast Friday. So yeah, he can. I mean, I would split it with them. You know, I would buy him Cane's every now and then, maybe like once every 6 months. You know, it's worth it. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm highlighting the red leather stuff. I'm going to take this color, which is from AK Interactive. It's called Reddish Black. And I'm gonna mix it with Iroko from Scale 75, which is an ochre color. I find that mixing ochre with your brownish, reddish colors just produces it's a nicer color than mixing like a cream or a white with them would. I'm gonna do a little bit of recording.
Live on-stream production is happening now.
Yes, you're in a video right now. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try the recording, did it? Oh no, it should. There we go. I found a different Panasonic app that they make.
Is there a reason this camera has 2 LUTs applied to it?
OBS doesn't know how to apply a LUT in the same way that Premiere Pro does. So in order for me to get super close to what it looks like in real life, I applied 2 of the same LUT But the second LUT I apply at 10% intensity.
It was like 15, but yeah, I just noticed it when I was looking at it.
Yeah.
Turbo LUT.
Turbo LUT. Yeah, but they're kind of like updating the way that they apply LUTs apparently, because it's gone through a few different revisions.
OBS going through revisions. Say it ain't so. Ad break incoming. Get subscribed and you don't have to watch the ads.
A
So I don't know if we called out Zilnos. Didn't subscribe with Prime 4 minutes ago.
I did.
I'm just not paying enough attention because I'm doing other things.
How could you?
I gotta argue with people on Reddit. It's very important.
If you join the Maniac Patreon, I will appreciate that, but it will not save you from ads.
Yep.
On
Only
the
way
Twitch
is
stream.
to sub. Obviously, we would prefer that you do both and donate all your free money.
Yes.
But, you know, if you can't do all that, we understand.
All right. Let's add a little bit more Iroko. And then we'll just do the same thing.
That's true. Eperuza TV makes a solid point by saying that a sub costs less than a GW contrast paint.
I mean, a lot of things do.
That's also true. You can get a meal for less than a GW contrast paint.
It's kind of true, though.
It's like, it's about the same price as like a regular person size combo meal from like a fast food place.
Yeah, isn't it like $10?
I think contrast paints are what, $8.50?
Okay. I think I've painted, I don't know, this freaking spear. What about that? Scott will not help me paint my minions with a single base coat. Contrast paint will. That is true. I cannot make that happen for you. All right. Let's paint this spear with the
Tabletop Collective donating $10.
Hey.
Gotta go. Thanks for all the advice and the chill streams. Have a good one, my dude.
See you, Tabletop Collective. Thanks for the donation. I appreciate it.
Also, Captain Winter's joining us for the first time. He wants to know, does Miniac swear on these streams? Hope he gets spicy.
I do swear. If that makes you want to watch more, I'm happy.
Holy delayed featured chat, Batman.
There it is. Ooh, the paint is very smeary. I find that, well, I don't know, this is my theory. When paint doesn't apply nicely to a surface, it's oftentimes happens like later in the painting process, because I think it's because I'm touching the model a lot and like wiping a lot of finger oils on it. And that's like making it hard for the paint to adhere to whatever surface I'm using.
Yeah, Scott, do you have like greasy fingers in your experience?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a greasy finger boy.
Turns out you've been doing oil washes for years, Scott.
Nice. The real question is Scott wearing any pants? Yes. This time I am.
Scott, I hate to break it to you, but those aren't pants.
Okay, I'm wearing shorts. That's what he means. Have we talked about the giveaway we're doing today yet?
No, and I was just about to bring that up.
Why don't you do that while I go pee?
Yeah, all right. I will.
Yeah.
I'll mute your mic first, because I'm smart like that. Today we are giving away the Army Painter Game Master in Search of Adventure Dungeons and Caverns core set. I got to set up this giveaway still, though. Also, let's see here. Is there something fun that I can show you? No, it's just going to be the mini model camera. So yeah, it's the full Game Master core set. However, due to shipping restrictions, today's giveaway is USA only. Because it's got an aerosol cannon, it would have to go via ground. So, yeah. USA only on this one. Let me set this up. I know, it's a big downer, but sometimes that's just the way it's got to be. A Game Master. Yeah, Scott and I were talking about this beforehand. If you guys don't know what this is basically a all-in-one kit that includes foam, cutters, a few different paints, and so on for making like miniature dioramas or stuff for like Dungeons and Dragons or whatever, you know, things to make your brick work and all that stuff. You have a good piece, Scott? Yeah, so I'm just walking them through what it is while I set up the giveaway.
N415, you love it. You love my short shorts. You mean the male equivalent of lingerie he's wearing?
This is a pretty big box. Let's show this one off on camera for a second. Switch it to actual. I would have brought it to you.
Okay. From now on, I'm gonna expect that then.
Okay. That way you can get my hand in the shot to
Oh,
prove that
yeah.
I am not just an empty chair.
Okay, Game Master from AP, otherwise known as Army Painter.
Yeah, you got to get that glare just right.
Let me see if I can not dump this all out and show it.
I'm ready for it to just spill all over the table.
So, did you say this is an only US giveaway?
I did, yes.
Yes.
Because of the spray can in it. And yeah, it's a pretty robust set. If you haven't done any sort of miniature basing where you can custom stuff, or also viewer, picking up another Miniac cutting mat.
Viewer!
Doing
Thank you,
work.
viewer.
Yeah, if you've never done any sort of basing or diorama stuff or making stuff for D&D, this is probably a great way to get it started. I think that it leaves something lacking as far as like long-term toolage, but certainly a great way to dip your toes in the water. The price is right at a free giveaway. I am adding it and starting it in just a second here. This is going to be a longer giveaway.
There's even like a little like tomb and ladder and stuff in here, and like a trapdoor, like a hinge.
Yeah, they've got all the little basing bits to make a dungeon real easy.
We got a tuft. They got a set of tufts in here. Had I known there was bits in here, I would have definitely stolen the bits before I knew and gave it away.
It's too late now. Giveaway has started! ! Moist in the chat.
Parakeetor, thank you for the sub.
Like
Prime
I said,
sub.
this is US only because of shipping restrictions.
Yes.
So if we get a winner from a far away land, unfortunately, we'll just have to reroll it.
Exclamation mark moist in the chat for the giveaway. Oh.
Did you spill something?
No. They're, this, can you show the close-up? The painting cam? I'm not
Yeah,
sure
hang
if this
on.
is gonna work. This is not working very well. Okay. I'm gonna refocus this, and I'm gonna regret it. They drew the body of this person.
Wait,
and
what
then,
the heck is going on here?
And then put a real face on her. That one looks the worst. This one, the dwarf and the other characters, I think they look much better. That one looks a little sus.
The other ones don't look like they have the same sort of like we replaced the face later effect on them. That definitely looks like sorry, we can't use the original face and we redid it.
Yeah, like look at that.
Her head is like elongated.
Like everything is so wispy and dry and the face is just so sharp and just like this is a photo.
It's one of those things where you stick your head through to take your picture with like, you know, I'm Abraham Lincoln.
All right, so we want to be here. Okay, let's get that focus. Focus. I need a button.
There you go.
Hey man, could you berate Ninja into doing a painting stream or just making another simple painting video again? He is the GOAT painting teacher. I mean, he's in the chat. You can tell him to do it yourself.
Boom.
I don't
He
gotta
was
tell
in
him.
the chat. I don't know if he still is.
Oh, he might not be. You're right.
He could have gotten back to work.
All right. Let's try some of these AK interactive paints or metallic paints. I saw a comparison between them and scale 75, and the Mika flakes seem to be super tiny on these compared to scale 75. Was that a Dark Star? I can't remember what the comparison was. I'm actually busy making a video. I mean, yeah, like isn't that the kind of video he makes all the time anyways? All right. So I didn't paint all the details that I want to be metallic black. Going against conventional wisdom here. Let's see if it ends up mattering. Okay.
So how many hours in are you on this guy?
I'm not timing this. There is no world where I spend more than 10 hours on this guy. I would say I'm floating in the 7-hour range right now. We actually do need to record this because this is, oh, I didn't finish painting his staff. Oh well, I'll just do some base coating and then go back to that.
X Neural Net X wants to know if you have any opinion on Pro Acryl Metallics versus Scale 75. Or I'm going to broaden that a little bit. Are there any metallics that you think are excellent and everyone should have, or any that you think everyone should avoid?
You know, I'm not like Vince in that I think some metallics are terrible. I kind of think they all get the job done. And I don't know, it doesn't really matter. But I will say the Vallejo metal color paints are outstanding.
You mean they're airbrush ones?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they cover super well.
I kick ass for the
They're
Lord.
super high flow. You know, honestly, because they're so high flow, Anatrius, thanks to the Prime sub, because they have such high flow, they're actually kind of terrible to edge highlight with. because they just run everywhere, which makes them hard to use.
Yeah, you definitely have to wick your brush more than you would expect with that if you want to keep control over it.
100%.
But they have great coverage and they look really, really, really flat and shiny.
Yeah.
I kick ass for the Lord.
Another Prime sub coming in. Hate 'em.
Hate them.
Hate 'em.
Thank you.
If you can't join them, hate 'em.
Yeah. Mix them with a normal brush metallic. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. And maybe that is why they are so just challenging to work with sometimes, because they are designed to be airbrush, I suppose.
Yeah, they're just very, very thin. But for how thin they are, it's insane how much coverage you get out of them.
I'm enjoying these ones right now. The base coat is super nicely. I didn't thin them at all for this application, and they're going on pretty nicely. But I am painting like some very textured parts of this model, and it's often easy to hide the grain of a mica pigment inside a metallic paint on a heavily textured surface. So maybe that's what we're seeing right now and experiencing.
Which one specifically are you using right now?
Using AK Interactive's Gunmetal.
Gunmetal.
Speaking of, got the cap off. Haven't used this paint yet. Busted out copper, gunmetal, and also silver, all from AK Interactive's 3rd gen line, just to try out the metallics. But also I want 2 different kinds of metallic colors in here, copper and silver, just to kind of break up all these metal parts. It clearly has like very ornamental metal stuff on him and like actual armor. And so I feel like that ornamental stuff would be a different color. Cracking a cold one.
Cracking open a cold one with my boys. Neural Net, our local store carries the full range of Turbo Dork stuff. I keep looking at it, thinking I want to try it, but I can't figure out what color I would actually need from there, because I already have kind of my bread and butter metallics. Are there any that you would suggest?
Mill2, please. What up? TurboDock sucks, according to Azathoth. Yeah, I mean, shout out to TurboDock for getting all of their product in stores.
That's true.
Because whenever I go to a place on vacation, I always go to a hobby store. Like everywhere I go. And
you always get recognized or no?
No, I don't. But damn, they got TurboDock's got stuff everywhere, and so I'm very impressed by their distribution game.
Yeah, I had never heard of them, and then that full rack showed up at the source, and then like 3 of their colors have completely sold through multiple times, and the other stuff seems like no one's interested in. So, typical paint life.
All the good stuff's never in stock.
Yeah, exactly. You got that Vallejo rack, like a floor-to-ceiling gigantic rack,
Okay.
and the 3 colors that you want never are in stock.
I think that's probably the source's fault.
I think there's a little of both. Shout out to Scale Model Supply for having what's the ice, the warm ice color?
Oh, ice yellow.
Yellow.
Yes.
Yeah, I was looking for that. Yeah, on that note, we have a lot of great stores here, and that's one of the ones that I didn't mention when we were talking about it last week, of places to go look and play, because they're not really a gameplay store here in the Twin Cities. But if you haven't ever gone to the giant cavern basement that is Scale Model Supply here in St. Paul, you should make the trek. That place is nuts.
Yeah.
It is so big.
If you're the kind of person that likes to explore like stores to find like things in the deep and dark corners covered in cobwebs,
Yes.
that place is for you.
They have some new stuff. You can get like the full range of like AK's modeling textures and washes and stuff, and they carry regular Vallejo paints. They also have like discontinued paints that haven't been around for like 20 plus years for enamels and stuff, because they're just one of those places, and models and stuff that are, oh yeah, they haven't made a reprint of this tank model since 1996, and here's 3 on the shelf. Place is cool. Evil Twin Mason wants to know any consideration to ever coming on down to ReaperCon.
Absolutely. Definitely interested in ReaperCon. I want to go to all of them eventually.
Here's my live idea. Should
Okay.
be a patron reward where the patrons vote on like the additional con that you go to. You do AdeptiCon every year, because that's like your one that you like to go to.
Mhm.
You say, what other con should Scott go to this year? Cast your votes, ladies and gentlemen. You give them a list of like 5, and then the patrons choose.
I like that idea. Could be game for that. This year, no one gets to decide. It's
Yeah,
LVO.
this year the votes are closed. Slugonics, I'll be at Gen Con this week too. If you can find me and address me by name, I'll give you a Miniac sticker pack. I'll bring a couple with me.
No one knows what Evan looks like.
Yes, I have made this game difficult.
Is that actually true? Has no one ever seen you?
No one on the stream aside from locals. You could post that horrifying picture of me looking at the cookies last week.
If you want that out on the internet, I will show people. Because it was a great moment.
Oh man.
Ooh.
John, we got enough space in the car that you could just join us. I got a wagon. We got enough room. If you want to be a last minute addition, I don't know if we've got room in the hotel room for you, but ask Dan. He's asking if you can ride in the trunk. I got 4 seats, baby.
Wait, I thought that can't Chris drive you, John? Isn't he driving through Minnesota? I'm old and tired. I don't like cons. Also, Scott, I want to go to all of them. I want to go to, I mean, like not in the same year though, you know? I want to spread them out. Oh, God. All right, we're going to do a hair dryer for a little bit.
Uh-oh, here we go. Hair dryer time. Well, that reminds me of the thing I wanted to do. All done?
All done. Oh my God.
Yeah, sorry. Your mute reactivated.
Oh, okay.
They definitely didn't hear your whole answer there.
Okay. When I play Blood Rage, I like to use mostly combat stuff. I love to fight. But I also like to use questing. But I don't do a lot of monster hiring and boat stuff. Boat stuff. This guy has scale mail, and then he has chain mail under his scale mail, just in case.
You never know.
You never know. We got any historical buffs in this chat? Can you tell me if there's an actual purpose for that? I would have assumed you're a low-key strategy guy, and I don't like to mess around too much. Stuff that gets under the scale gets stopped by the mail. Yeah, I mean, yes, that does make sense. Do people actually do that in antiquity? Like, do they put onto like a layer of scale over a layer of mail? Oh, that's John. Who's your dream guest for TUP? It's a fun question. No one used scale mail in antiquity. It's a modern invention for fashion. Oh, okay. Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I kind of figured it definitely existed back in the day, but was just like maybe for like a different purpose or like an evolution of chainmail that was more protective. But I guess not.
I kick ass for the Lord.
Your game is feeling too drafty. Close the windows. Nice. When is Vince coming? Does this guy have beard mail? I wish. Vince is coming not this weekend, but I think the one after that.
Oh, you said he was going to come during the state fair.
Okay, here's the problem.
Uh-oh.
No, there's no problem. He's still coming at the same time, but I just can't remember anything for shit.
Woof.
I'm so bad with dates. It's in my calendar. Oh, Vince was also asking if Uncle Adam could come, and then they could play Rain in Hell on stream.
Ooh.
So we might do that on a non-Thursday streaming day.
Ooh.
Maybe we do it on Thursday. Who knows?
Ooh.
More time. I was gonna say there it is. That'd be awesome. Yeah. I don't know if we have enough space for Adam. I'll have to talk to my wife and see if we can accommodate him. But we would love to do that. That'd be so much fun. Okay. Oh, the belt thing. Oh, and the horn. The trumpet thing. I think I'm gonna make the belt thing silver, because all those pommels and guards on the swords are going to be copper. This guy's gonna look so badass. Man, I would love to have all my Blood Rage stuff painted like this. This is the problem. Everything just looked sexy. It'd be so awesome. Ain't nobody got time for that. trying to get some footage of this. We're getting a little raid? Valthek, thanks for the raid. What'd you guys do in your stream? I feel I have so many miles for Ankh. There are probably 100 between all my pledges. There are 30 10 mil camels I have to paint. Of all of them? Oh no, you're just saying, oh my God. 30. Wait, is Ankh a 10 mil game? Oh, we're doing a giveaway right now.
Yeah, we are. We've got 8 minutes left in the giveaway.
Heck yeah. We are giving away an Army Painter Game Master set, which is a cool set of foam, a hot wire cutting tool, paint, rocks, tufts that you can use to build terrain.
I think there's a hobby knife in this too.
Absolutely.
Box cutter.
Like think about what Jeremy does on Blackmagic Craft, but like made into a product.
Yeah.
That's that. Everything in that box. Check it out. !moist to join. Have to be in the US of A to win, because there's aerosol products in the can, and shipping that internationally is problematic. So yeah, heads up. Guy Montags, I finally ate at what's the burger place that was the original creator of the Juicy Lucy?
Matt's Bar, allegedly.
Finally ate at Matt's Bar, and it was really good.
Matt's is sweet. I just hate that it's cash only. Forget every time.
They have the thing.
Yeah, they have an ATM. That's how they get you.
That's how they really make the money.
That's right. It's that ATM.
Matt's is a nice dive. I agree.
I have to warn everybody. Alex has left his desk. That's bad. Alex is alleging that he needs to stretch, but I think he needs to get back in the salt mine. Back to work. Cramp? Charlie horse, cramp, whatever. Love
cramping.
the They Live shirt, by the way. Oh. Nobody can hear what you're saying. Nobody knows. John Carpenter. Shout out to John Carpenter. They Live has the best fight scene in any movie of all time. It's like the slowest, most dragged out, kind of realistic fight scene, except like both those guys should be dead at the end of it. But it's sloppy in the way that a real fight is. It feels very much like they pointed the camera at Rowdy Roddy and said, just go nuts. Yeah.
The wrestler, you should know how to fight.
Yeah. All the best quotes from the Duke Nukem games came from that movie. So yeah, if you haven't seen They Live, gets Evan's 5-star recommendation. It's dated, you'll love it.
Watch John.
Yeah, pretty much just watch all the good John Carpenter movies.
Stop after like.
Don't watch Ghosts of Mars.
Oh God.
Yeah, Vampires is also a skip.
No one can hear you, Alex. Alex is asking what I'm painting, and I'm painting a Blood Rage model. Same as last. Oh man, dude's got 3 layers of scale mail on, dude. Okay, here's the one, of mail. Here's the chain mail. There's the scale mail. And he's got another cheeky little layer of scale mail under his tunic. Seriously? Oh God. You don't have to jam all this detail into the model, Simon. Although, to be fair, no one would ever notice this unless they painted the mini. Which, this is some good advice. If you ever produce models, you need to paint the model before you sign off on it as being done. because you will catch things like 3 layers of chainmail and scale mail. Or you'll just get a feel. You'll be like, I'm not really enjoying painting this part of the model. I don't know why. And then you can kind of think about it and figure it out.
Yeah.
It's the alpha, beta, and sigma mail. Okay, I think I painted all the stuff I want to be silver. And then I still have stuff I want to be copper. Before I do that, I'm gonna finish up this spear handle.
Chris Creates also wants you to show off the work on the back.
Oh.
Been working on the front pretty much this whole time.
Yeah.
Shield, fade.
Nothing too fancy. Just a fur cloak. Give him a white fur cloak.
Kind of fades to blue.
Mm-hmm. I did a very similar shield on what's that unit that no one ever uses in Greyjoy? Black Tide Chosen.
Yeah. I'm just gonna do a quick shout out now. US only giveaway. Our box. We got about 2 minutes 30 seconds left. ! Moist in the chat. The Game Master box.
For what it's worth, our giveaways are not normally limited to US only.
Yeah, normally we say we know we can give it to the US. If you live in a country where you know you're able to do it, we'll send it to you. But this time, the shipping restrictions are such that, sorry. RC Ron, it's the first time you're able to watch the stream, but that means it's the first time we're able to see you in the stream chat. So congrats.
What up, RC Ron? Or Archron?
Rook Ron?
17 rocks.
It's like the best idea I've had in a while.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Okay. Just
Like I said, Azathos, that's the best idea I've had in a while.
What do we paint today? Blood Rage Mini.
Blood Rage. If you ever want to know what Scott's painting, you type in ! Scott. It'll even take you to a link to where you can purchase the product from the manufacturer, as long as it is a purchasable thing. Mama Wolf wants to know, what is up with Dan and his pocket rocks?
Dan's the kind of person who always has something in his pockets. You know? And he's got rocks. He's got a lot of rocks in there.
Dan's a collector. He likes bits. He likes shiny things. And he likes rocks.
I love this color when you blend it to black. Gobi brown. I did the same thing over here on his scabbard. I don't know why I like that look so much, but I really do. So I'm just gonna do it again. On the spear. 'Cause why not? Although it's sometimes quite challenging to do a blend on a large cylindrical object that's thin. And like try to get it like looking good the entire way around the spear. I'm gonna try. All right, why don't you just mute me for a while?
You doing hair dryer?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it a lot though.
Okay. Gotcha. It's all right. I have buttons for this, Scott, so I'm excited to try them out.
You're good. I like the text.
I especially like that I made it spam chat when I do that too.
Yes. The problem with doing what I'm doing right now, where you like apply a glaze and redo it and then hair dry it and then do it again and kind of do that over and over again, is that eventually your model has a thermal capacity of some kind and it'll warm up and it'll stay warm. And you will discover that when you glaze on top of a warm model, it dries very fast.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful. Your hair dryer has a cold button on it often. This little blue thing right there. If you push it, it's not necessarily cold air, it's just not hot air. So make sure to keep that in mind. If you're ever like struggling with glazing, that's another thing I often find that I'm doing. I'm often going back and forth between glazing a very small part and drying it. And if you do that 3 times in a row, you're gonna experience problems on that 4th glaze. Glazing on hot models is the worst, yeah. Afi, hey Scott, any tips for brush size when painting terrain, specifically Warcry terrain? I would just get some big cheap brushes, you know? Some flat brushes. From like Hobby Lobby or something like that.
I don't know if it was one of your videos or a different YouTuber that I follow. I can't remember. Someone suggested that whenever you're using a hair dryer on a model, you should blow cold air for it just as long as you blew hot air.
Yeah.
Basically to remove as much of that heat as possible from the mini.
You can also just use exclusively cold air. Because I mean, I don't need to go into the science of why cold air dries paint, but it does. So if you just do that, then it'll never heat up. I'm also gonna stick some black paint up under his hand here.
Yeah, I used to just have one of those little USB desk fans sitting in my painting space. No, not blowing nearly as hard as a hair dryer does, but if you needed something to dry, you could just basically set it in front of it for about 15 seconds. More than one way to skin that cat, as they say.
So I don't know necessarily why it dries it, but I know why I know why air moving fast feels cool. And I think that it dries paint for the same exact reason. It's because you're constantly replacing the air molecules around your body that are kind of warmed by the ambient temperature of your body with other air molecules that are not cooled by your body. And because you're just constantly recycling those air molecules immediately next to yourself, it feels like an air blowing on you from a fan is cooling you. And it is cooling you. to a certain degree. And that's why it also feels cool, because the air that's being pushed onto you isn't also warmed by the air surrounding your body. Bernoulli's principle, I didn't know it had a name. But I don't know why evaporation of liquid in moving air is less saturated by. Okay, so it's similar. So the paint is evaporating slowly, and that's what's drying it. And the air immediately around it is saturated. So if you replace it with air that doesn't have moisture in it, you dry it faster.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why humidity matters so much for your paint drying as well. If you don't have air conditioning, you live in an area that, every day is 90+% humidity, your paint dries a lot slower than someone who's in 60% humidity, because the moisture capacity of the air is different. And it just takes more time for basically the moisture to be able to leave and enter the air, because that's what's happening. The giveaway has ended.
Hey.
I'm picking the winner right now. End 415. I saw you in chat earlier. This might be your first time here, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm not sure. Sound off in chat. If you're not in the United States, we're going to pick someone else. But let's find out. End 415. Sound off in chat. Now's your chance.
If you don't say anything in chat, we're going to pick a new winner. Everyone in chat's hoping that you don't sound off. Prove them wrong. End 415. I missed an element of paint. We'll give them 2 minutes.
Rocket Man props with the Johns here. I was going to enter. The second we started talking about it, I knocked over my iced coffee and had to clean my couch finally.
Oh, dang it. I forgot that I also want to paint this shield with the TMMs.
As a thought says, I thought you didn't subscribe to the thought of metallic paints ruining your wet palette, Scott.
I don't. But I do believe that putting them on a wet palette makes them thin out maybe more than you would want them to be, or just kind of changes their properties in a funky way. But it doesn't do anything to the wet palette itself. It doesn't. That's fact. And maybe it doesn't happen in a normal paint, but whenever I put Vallejo metal color on a wet palette, it just splits like fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, that metal air stuff, because it's already so thin, just goes wild.
Yeah, and maybe this AK interactive stuff is not as temperamental as that stuff is. Yeah, it's less for the wet palette, more for the paint.
End 415. If you're here, we need to hear from you in chat. You're our winner today, theoretically. We're going to give you about another minute here, and then we're going to pick another one.
316.
I'm not sure what the paint is actually made out of when it comes to the Vallejo metal air stuff, but it is definitely designed to be thin enough to go directly into the airbrush. It requires no thinner or flow aid or anything like that to blow out.
Okay, it's a lot of silver. There are some other things I want to paint in non-metallic silver. Now that I've painted the silver, namely, his helmet has fur on it, and I want to paint that fur. And his handles, the swords on his handles, sorry, the handles on his swords have fabric wrapped around them. I want to paint that. And his tunic has trim on it. So around the sleeves and also around the bottom here, there's like a little different separating detail. I want to paint that a special color.
All right, we're picking a different winner. We have not heard from End.
Rip.
Yep.
Enjoy saying that name.
Jachius?
Jachius.
Sure. If you are here, I'm probably mispronouncing your name. Sound off in chat.
Fracking way. What up, Jachius? Make sure to DM Miniac on Twitch with your info, which includes your first and last name, your shipping address, and also your email address. I need all three of those things. There's someone who still hasn't replied with that information from the Kickstarter giveaway. And so I have one of those giant 8 giveaways that I have not given away yet.
Wow.
Because they haven't replied.
Need to hire a private investigator to find him.
Yes. What happened? Yes, all that stuff. Rocket Man props. How goes it in the new office? Great. Have you tried multi-metals by Darkstar? I have the Lele or the Lele. Not too they're not amazing. They work, but I think the defining characteristic of most metal paints is how fine is that mica flake ground. If it's so fine that you can, essentially hide them on a 2-scale model and it looks like just straight up metal, then they're the boss. But those ones, the molten metal ones from Darkstar, don't seem to be as fine as these ones I'm using right now, the AK 3rd generation metallic paints. But I've used them for a while and they totally get the job done. Has to be so fine you question leaving your wife? Nice, Rufus Kid. So fine! Just that fine.
Hey, Mickey.
Hey, Mickey?
Hey, Mickey, you're so fine.
Oh, you're so fine to blow my mind.
Yeah.
You went there.
Shout out to all 295 people hanging out with us today.
Ooh. Thank you. Professor Gray, welcome for the first time in the chat. I've heard good things about AK 3rd Gen. Well, let me cool your jets. It's just another paint range. It's slightly different than the rest. I don't know. They kind of all work the same.
There are definitely some paints that are easier to work with and some paints that are harder to work with, but I think if you know what you're doing, you can work with just about anything and get to that same end result.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem. I'm such a god tier painter that I can make anything work. That's what it is, right?
Oh, come on, hang on. We got to go to the. Give us that flex. Come on, Scott.
Oh yeah, baby. Look at my
God-tier
arm.
painter right here.
Wait, no. Can I flex this and just snap it? No, I shouldn't do that.
Don't do that.
No, I won't. Yeah. That'd actually be interesting if you're doing a paint range comparison to have a beginner work with all of the ranges and be like, this was the one that didn't fuck with me the most. Because, you know, it's like literally impossible for me to have that same perspective because I'm in a different place in my hobby career.
One of the points that John made in his first YouTube video and his premiere on your channel, which was talking about the best like intro paint kit for a newbie.
Yeah.
Was that it might make sense to start with a more difficult to work with paint kit because you don't know any better, right? Those scale 75 colors can be a little bit harder to deal with because they're so pigmented and so on.
He made that point?
Yeah, he talked about it where he was like, he didn't know. He was like, if you really, really, truly don't know and you're a blank slate, if you work with this from the beginning, you might not feel handicapped by it in the same way as someone who's used to working with like Vallejo and then tries to use it for the first time and goes, what is this? It's completely different.
Yeah, but why bother shafting yourself in the beginning if you can just start with the good stuff and not have to rebuy?
Well, because scale 75 is theoretically the good stuff.
Yeah.
Or Chimera.
Yeah. They're all kind of, I don't know. I feel like Vallejo's probably the best. But no, it's hard to say.
There's a reason that it's kind of just the standard. That said, I'm a big fan of Pro Acryl at this point. I think Pro Acryl is really, really easy to use and gets you really great results and is a good deal. Those are the things I'm looking for.
Yeah. John still recommended Vallejo in the end. Yes.
Yeah. That Vallejo, like 16 color USA starter pack is still like one of the best deals in paints in general because it really gets you a very complete range.
That is true.
I'm happy that the source is now carrying Pro Acryl, so I can recommend those boxes as well, or the individual paints. But I do think that the obsession of always looking for a new, better paint is kind of one of those hobby traps that companies want you to fall into.
Yeah.
My painting kit that I have out in the car, I have every Pro Acryl color, and then I have a few contrast paints, much as I'm loath to say it, and the Vallejo metal color air and some Vallejo colors that, you know, there's not really anything else for. That's about it. That's all I need to carry with me. I look at Scott's painting rack over there and I'm like, I'm not sure if it's nice to have that many paints. I feel like I would get analysis paralysis if I had that many paints.
No. I feel like it doesn't slow me down too much. But it doesn't really help me either. The only reason why I have it is at some point, hopefully, to do some kind of meaningful comparison. Scott is pain inside. Can't stand Vallejo or GW. What do you use? Maniac, I'm a new painter. I began with the VMC starter set, then accidentally ordered a bunch of SC75. I have to say that I really like Scale 75. They feel much more pigmented and blend better, but I love the availability of VMC. So that is one thing that's pretty true about Scale 75, is I feel like they do blend very nicely because they are very creamy and pretty thick. P3 tends to look plasticky when dry. Maybe that's because the satin finish. I'm not sure why that would be. Okay, what is left to do? The trim around the shirt. Okay, I want it to be a spot color, but I don't want it to be gaudy. I was kind of thinking teal, for the color of like this separating detail on his sleeves and down here, I want it to be a blue thing, but I don't know what blue it should be.
Sound off in chat if you've got color suggestions for Scott that he can ignore.
Yeah. Hey, if someone has a recommendation that I like, I will use it. But at the end of the day, I'm only going to use something that I like.
Yeah.
Because it is.
So you want a blue color?
I want a blue color, but I don't want it to be a spot color, which means that they're normally pretty gaudy.
Could push that to a more green, I feel like, with what you've got on the menu there.
Possibly some green. Little jade look, emerald look.
Yeah, exactly.
That's definitely a possibility.
Someone suggested flamboyant. Oh, it's Azathoth.
Okay.
Flamboyant, eye-popping, corona-stabbing yellow.
Okay. I'm not going to do that. So many blue colors. Is there a bright blue that's not teal that I can use? It's not also baby boy blue?
I feel like that's going to blend into the sleeve and the cape, because those are already kind of highlighted in an almost teal color.
Yeah, but if they're more teal than the cape, then they'll stand out. You gotta use that. You gotta use that highlight distribution to your advantage. Let's see. Let's open the extended paint storage.
I definitely misread cornea as corona.
Corona yellow. Why is Corona yellow?
Well, I mean, corona is yellow.
Is it?
Corona beer?
Oh,
And the corona of the sun?
I thought we were referring to the virus.
Oh yeah, no, that's a different thing. Chat, what color is coronavirus?
How do you represent it in your mind? What color do you see when you
right.
say the word corona? This could be terrible if I use this color, but why not try? Adriatic blue. Oh, like a purpley indigo? I don't know.
Yeah, you could push in that direction.
I don't know, though. What do I do?
I think actually the suggestion of yellow is not that far off. You could do something that kind of matches his hair.
I could, but the issue I'm experiencing right now is if I look at this model, granted it's not, the metal isn't done, and the metal is going to introduce some more blue. I don't know if I really think blue. Like when I look at the back of it, definitely more blue. The front of it though isn't a lot of blue because I made that choice to paint his tunic a cream color. And so I want this spot color to be more blue to, you know, kind of just make everyone know that this is the world we're living in. So I picked up these colors.
You gonna paint his Corvette next, or
His Corvette?
yeah, because he lives in a blue world and a blue house.
Oh, okay, nice, yeah.
Yeah.
I have Caspian, Adriatic, and Tesla blue. More of an indigo, purpley blue. More of a sky, maybe turquoisey, something a little bit more desaturated. See you, Krish. Are you just like laughing yourself over there?
I'm laughing at chat.
Good job, chat.
Yep. I like this message a lot. I'm highlighting this. RC Mauve says, any color you can't identify as mauve.
You mean purple or magenta? I feel like if I use Caspian blue, it's gonna look very similar to the color that I inadvertently mixed.
I definitely agree.
Ugh.
Not that you asked, but that seems very, very similar to the Cape blue. I think that Tesla blue is definitely a more blue, other than the kind of light desaturated green blues you have.
Blue.
Blue. True blue.
Ugh.
Feeling blue.
I think it's gonna look too, man, it's really, this is really, really gonna pop out on this tunic thing.
I mean, if that's your high color and you work down from there.
I don't know what to do. I'm gonna paint on top of this like already tan color. It's gonna be like insanely bright, and I'm gonna lose my mind right away. Let's just start. Let's not make any statements right now. Let's just start somewhere in the middle.
No statements, only questions?
Yes.
That was a statement, Scott. I
Was it?
think.
Okay. We're gonna use AK Interactive Deep Blue, which for all intents and purposes looks like a regular blue. Huddleston says 1-to-1 Tesla blue with deep blue looks really good. Okay, I'll try it. We'll get some of that out. My Tesla blue I know is always scuffed. I feel like it's never really, like, look at that, look at that. Ick. That is not paint.
Yowza.
I need
That's
my,
the thick stuff.
yeah, that's very thick. There's something in there mixing around.
Something.
Hey! Come on!
Find the one I want. There we go. Yep. This is the problem with not being in studio mode. Gotta
Or-
fix the stream deck.
Oh, we didn't. Wait, did reinstalling it not work?
I haven't done it yet.
Oh.
I've been too busy doing like my actual job to not do my fake actual job.
Hey, that's your real job.
It's kind of my real job.
Okay. We're getting close to risking it. Getting paint all over the palette. So we're just gonna get a big chunk. Put that down. I didn't grab deep blue, but deep blue is a great color that I use all the freaking time.
Deep blue.
Deep blue. I got navy blue. I don't have deep blue. Where are you, deep blue? It's abyssal blue. It's a little too desaturated. There it is. So popular that I had to replace it. Brown leather and deep blue are the two paints that I had to replace in my scale 75 range after having used it for 6 years, I think, at this point. Okay, we need to pop a hole in this bad boy. All right. I don't know if this is gonna make a super crazy color. It's gonna make something probably in between. You know what this reminds me of? I don't know if anyone's ever used this old paint from GW called Regal Blue.
This old paint is like my favorite show.
Yeah.
That's the show that Vince V needs to host.
You think you'd work for that?
I think he'd be perfect for like a public television miniature painting show.
Oh yeah, Mr. Rogers.
Him and Goobertown working together.
Need to get them in some sweater vests.
Exactly.
Rufus, you asked where my paint mixer is. I lost it. I didn't lose it, but I spilled a cup of paint water on my desk, and my mixer was on there, and eventually the water got inside and made all the connections on the PCB erode, and then it stopped working.
You can't see it, but I'm just sitting here shaking my head.
You never spill anything ever?
There's no proof. That's what matters.
I have a pot of dried up Regal Blue. Nice. Regal Blue is glorious. So many high elves ruined with one thick coat of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm laughing at now.
Yeah, in my case, it was Middenheim models, which actually I still have. I want to show you guys my Middenheim. Okay, relax.
I don't know if that came through on stream, but I hope it did.
I think it definitely did. Okay, so the biggest tragedy of this army is that I sold all the cool shit, all the Tetogen and Seneschal Guard, to my buddy who had them repainted. So I don't have them anymore, which is sad. But I have some spearmen and some halberdiers here that I can definitely show off. Get me on that paint cam, bro.
Paint camera?
Yeah.
I gotta take this.
Here's this. This is Regal Blue, blue ink, wash, and then more Regal Blue. Boy, that is terribly painted. Here's a halberdier. That was one of the bases I actually did. This was how I did snow back in the day. I did like a layer of paint that was like a light blue gray and then white on top of that, like how they dry brushed or whatever. Woo, that face is rough, bro. That is a rough face. Cute, looks good. We're all there, absolutely. Looks way better than the thing I did as a kid, the stuff I painted as a kid. Yeah. I mean, I don't really mind if they look bad. Like, it's okay. I was a 10-year-old. I wish I had something else to show you. But this is kind of it. I have a headless. He's called Militia. I believe it's called Militia. These guys were skirmisher models in fantasy. If you guys remember how those worked, they didn't have to be in a rank and file unit. They could be loosely organized. But yeah, that's some of my remaining Middenheim army. All the lame stuff that I kept. None of the cool Teutogen Guard or Seneschal or Ulrich. All that stuff I gave away. Totally acceptable tabletop level. Thank you, sir. I agree, you know? I think a long time ago I used to be like really precious about how things were painted. But nowadays, it doesn't really matter, you know? However the thing is painted is fine. Which is why I always kind of struggle to give feedback to people. I'm always kind of like, people are always like, oh, how can I make this better? And it's like, well, how do you want it to look? Do you want it to look a certain way that it's not looking? That's a really important question to ask somebody when you're giving feedback. Is like, you know, what was the end result that they were shooting for? It's always important to make sure your feedback is pushing them more toward the kind of result they're looking for. Skirmishers in Warhammer Fantasy were really time travelers sent from Age of Sigmar to show us the future. Possibly. Okay. Okay, we were painting the trim around his tunic. Let's start on the bottom first. I think by default, feedback for online painters at this point is how to take better pictures. It not only makes their current models look better, but allows for more precise feedback in the future. Yeah, absolutely. The better the picture, the better the feedback. The more specific it can be, for sure. But on your average paint job, I would say that you can see all the problems pretty easily. Okay, the detail kind of is hard to see. Man, I hope this doesn't look stupid. I think it's gonna look stupid. It might look stupid. Oh God. Maybe it won't. I feel like this dude could be slapped into your Greyjar army and fit in. Yeah, possibly. That definitely is a possibility. I was thinking about games like Frostgrave and stuff like that. And I was like, I have enough just kind of like randomly painted models that I could definitely play a game like Frostgrave, where it's just kind of like, you have, you know, you can use any model you want and kind of just sub it in kind of thing. So I would love to try that out because I paint a lot of just random models from different games and stuff like that. Like I could play a game where you would make like a wood elf warband, and I could definitely get away with that. A lot of wood elves. My Vortex is the best purchase I made in a while. Mordheim definitely fits that bill.
You know, I have this problem where every time I watch a skirmish game, it just makes me want to play D&D.
You play a lot of D&D?
I used to.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic. I was the terminal DM guy. Had bad DM-itis.
Do you like that? Or do you want to play?
Doing one makes you want to do the other, is how I'd categorize it.
Okay.
The more I DM, the more I want to play. The more I play, the more I want to DM.
Is it because you realize how bad the DMs are and you have to do it? Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me.
Generally, no. Most of the time, no. I have played with some bad DMs in my time, though.
Oh, there's some more fucking scale mail under there, son of a bitch.
Apakamoose wants to know how your experience going on tourney grounds was.
For the qualifier?
The stats podcast.
Oh, it was great. You know, I kind of feel like Maserath is more used to a guest who knows more about the game at large. I feel like I know a lot about Greyjoy and about the specific people that I play and interact with, but not about like everything. So like he was talking about like new models from different factions, and you know, I was like hopelessly trying to comment on those new models and like the factions and stuff like that. So he did a great job like working with me and like what I knew about the game, and then kind of like carrying the rest of the conversation. So yeah, it was great. I had a great time.
All right, let's see if this works now. I'm muting you. It works!
What works?
Stream Deck works now in studio mode.
Hey!
Sometimes it matters what order you install software in.
That makes sense.
I hate that that's how the world works. That's how it needs to be. Yeah, I'm with you, Rufus Kit. I think it should almost never matter. But oh well.
I love it when a random answer in a forum actually answers your question.
The difficult thing about a product like this is that there are a lot of people asking a lot of dumb questions and getting a lot of canned responses. So you have to sift through. It's looking for a needle in a needle stack, right?
Yeah.
Because when you Google something like Stream Deck doesn't work in studio mode, you get like one answer that makes sense and a bunch of them that are like, the software doesn't load. Did you try installing the software? Oh.
Give me your log file.
Yeah. You seem to be asking a question about the Stream Deck. Rufus Kit, one of the many jobs that I've had in my career was actually being a professional Googler.
Is that a way to say you were in IT?
No,
you were a software engineer?
That is also true. But no, do you remember that brief point in time that not everyone had a smartphone, but everyone had a cell phone. And there were
Yes.
services that you could text to get answers to questions.
What?
Yeah, I worked for one called KGB. There was a big ad campaign. This was 15 years ago or something.
KGB.
Yeah, KGB. Text KGB to get answers. Don't do that because it's probably owned by like something else now. But yeah, I worked for them for a brief time as like a side gig. Basically, what it would be is you'd sign into their portal and it would just randomly assign you questions and you had to do research and text them back.
Wow. Okay.
I worked for the KGB. I was a KGB agent.
You probably learned a lot of cool stuff doing that.
I'm gonna be real. A lot of the questions were just inane BS, just like the stuff that mostly gets Googled at like frat parties now. No way. How many yards did Adrian Peterson have? He had way more than 250. You idiot. And the questions would often be drunken and misspelled and awful.
Damn it.
And yes, Azathoth is correct in his inclination. A lot of them were sex questions. Stuff like, what is this sexual position?
I wish it was like, how many peanut butter M&Ms fit into the volume of the earth? And you could do some real math and figure that out.
I did have a few like that. The problem was you were also rated on, it had time metrics. It was a ticketing system and stuff.
Oh.
So if you took your time to really give someone an in-depth answer, they'd be like, you took 10 minutes on that. Here's your 10 cents or whatever. So they incentivized just quick answers. But I definitely remember a question, like the one that sticks out to me was this person that had texted KGB over a dozen times about things being stuck inside of them. What to do? Like this was their gag, was just to spend money, basically asking like, I have a desiccated orangutan hand stuck in me. What do I do? So that one stuck with me. The other one was the person that was the same way, but was how many? Because you could see their history, so you could see the context.
Oh, yeah.
See if it was a follow-up question, what the previous agent said. So, yeah, there was one that was obsessed with how many of X would fit in their ass. And it was like, some of them were things that you would expect, like hot dogs. And then there was other like weird mundane stuff. How many ounces of aluminum?
Yeah. Like in weight?
Yes. People had too much time on their hands. And of course they're paying like $1 a text or whatever. What's up, Level Blow? Just talking about working for the KGB.
I love that. All right. So we finished. Oh, I should be recording this. We finished the base coating of that trim.
Base.
Bursh. And now we're gonna start highlighting it with I forget what color we're using. Let me look real quick. Oh, it was deep blue from AK Interactive.
And the auto mod is real restrictive. I had to allow a term.
Allow it to what?
I am allowing the term anus in chat.
Oh, yes. That's a good one. Okay. I don't know. How are you thinking about that blue? I'm not a huge fan of it, but I also don't care that much to change it. That's the thing. 27 rocks. How many anus can I fit in my anus? Nice.
What have I done?
All right, we're gonna mix some of this pale blue into this deep blue. See what happens. This is definitely a color that I'm not like a super huge fan of.
All right, I got a question for you, Scott. Hold the mini exactly where you are and look at the screen.
Okay.
You have moved from your mark a bit. And you moved your face. Your face was covering half the frame when I had you freeze.
I can't not angle it. What do you want from me? I am
just
human.
to make you feel self-conscious about how you paint minis on stream.
I mean, this is ultimately good for me because any habit that I form here is going to pay off for video recording.
That's true.
So you can make me feel self-conscious all you want. It'll pay off. Am I still recording? I am. Boop. How much time left we got? We got 6 minutes on that SD card. Okay.
Though I think it would bring the computer to its knees. There is a plugin that would let us record all sources raw to the PC as well while we stream.
Oh shit! Is there?
Yeah, I found one.
Okay.
The question is, yeah, can the PC handle recording the multiple 4K streams at the same time?
So, what does it do? Does it record just the camera or does it record the scene?
Records the camera.
Okay.
So you can ingest even things that you aren't necessarily looking at in the scene.
Okay.
So you could be recording your facial expressions while you paint.
That might be helpful for Curtis. He might like that.
Yeah, I mentioned it to him. I think the big restriction is I am. This computer is already kind of. It's doing okay this stream. It struggles on the gaming streams sometimes. I worry that adding a bunch of workload to it, as far as encoding goes, might not be the best plan right now. But there is a way to do it. So
Yeah. If we ever want to do that.
yeah.
We'll definitely buy some better hardware for the computer.
So yeah, follow, subscribe, buy stuff from the store, so that way we can get better streaming hardware. We've already got good stuff, but we could have even better stuff.
Even better.
So yeah, get subscribed. If you got that Prime subscription and you haven't used it, you don't know about it, linking your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account gives you a free 1 sub a month, and we would appreciate it. Yeah, give money. Scaver's not wrong. That's what I'm telling you to do. This is a call to action. See? And it's working. Cheesy Butterface. Subscribing with Prime.
Hey, it
Thank
worked.
Except it's not cheesy. It's Chesney Butterface.
Chesney?
Yeah.
Chesney Butterface. We appreciate your face.
Lovable Oaf says, if it was Friday, I'd drop 100.
Hunted.
That seems ridiculous.
All right. I don't know if I need to do this, but I feel like I want to.
How are you feeling about those stripes on the shirt, Scott?
I'm not in love with them, but I also don't hate them enough to want to change anything. I don't know. How you feeling? Evan, say something.
I feel all right.
Okay. Let's paint, first of all, this. Back of his leg had a bunch of fabric on it, and it wasn't painted black. My bad. Uh-oh, I can tell I've been wiping my finger on this part of his cape. I'm wiping all the paint off.
Scaver wants to know if either of us are excited for the new edition of Warcry. Scott, are you excited for the new edition of Warcry?
No. Back to you, Evan.
Am I excited for the new edition of Warcry? The answer is, I have never even looked at Warcry. I know it exists. I know what it is. I've never played it. I've never bought anything from it. So no, I am also not excited for it.
Yeah, and not because It's a bad game. I also have never played it.
That doesn't mean we're not open to playing.
True. Very true.
Forest Wizard does not like this answer.
Sorry, Forest Wizard.
He's booing us.
No.
They're booing me.
Am I excited for the new Mind Goblin bust? I don't even think I've ever heard of Mind Goblin. Evan furiously searches for Mind Goblin.
Mind Goblin? Magic the Gathering? Oh, I regret.
Mind
searching
Goblin,
Mind
these
Goblin.
nuts. Fuck me. Fuck me.
First thing I found is on Reddit. Guys, I just discovered my Mind Goblin. Okay.
I hate it. I hate that I fell for it. God damn you, Elzathoth! G. Finnegan, why play Warcry when you can play Code 1? Am I right? You are right. I mean, they are totally different genres. One's fantasy, one's sci-fi. So maybe that's why. Am I ever going to paint a large dragon? Well, I have one in the process of being painted right now. A zombie dragon. So yes. Code 1 is my go-to for sci-fi for sure, bud.
Yeah, we'll have to play Infinity on stream at some point once someone in this group understands that game in a real way. Robbie has attempted to teach me twice, and it has boiled down to just losing quickly.
Losing quickly and being largely disinterested.
Kinda, yeah. Even though I really love the minis, and I look at the rule book and I'm like, there's a lot of stuff in here. I definitely go, there's a lot of stuff in here. Oh, you didn't tell me. Yeah, just yell, hairdryer. Exo Chosen says, I have just met my first that guy today at my local game store. Dude refused to play against another person because the other person's paint job was, and I quote, way too shit and shouldn't be used. Wow.
Seriously?
Wow.
That actually happened?
Wow.
Paul, you can't do that to me. Only Azathoth can.
Featured chat apparently doesn't work anymore. That's good.
Dude refused to play against another person because the other person's paint job was, and I quote, way too shit and shouldn't be used. Holy fuck. That is amazing.
Yeah, featured chat broke. Oh well.
Yeah, they're probably just, testing on production in the middle of a fucking day. Because welcome to Twitch software.
Yeah.
God damn. I'm a space cadet right now.
Paul, when aren't you a space cadet?
Are you planning on playing Dark Tide when it comes out? Is that a video game?
Dark Tide. Roll Tide? That's a different thing.
The dude got kicked out. Dude got verbally kicked out by everyone. The owner was politely asking him to leave. Was that the first time he ever came to the store? Because it feels like it's gotta be. Because who is that fucking clueless? All right.
Yeah, you hang out at the game store enough, you're gonna see things.
What are you gonna see? What have you seen, Evan?
Well, there's an infrequent person that is colloquially referred to as Nazi Kid.
Oh yeah, Nazi Kid.
Yeah, see, you know what's up.
Yeah.
And he's kind of, I don't think he's banned, but he's sort of pseudo banned at this point.
Forgot about Nazi Kid.
I'm there a lot. Oh, if I'm there a lot.
Is this Fantasy Flight or is this? I feel like last time I heard of Nazi Kid was because of the Fantasy Flight Game Center.
No, this is source stuff.
Okay.
I'm only there like 2 or 3 or 4 days a week. Yeah. There are all kinds of people who are attracted to comic books and miniature wargaming and Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, and many of them are great, wonderful, enlightened people that I love interacting with and become fast friends with. Met lots of people playing Song that I now consider friends, Scott included, for that matter. It's basically how we met. We did meet once before the pandemic at a paint and take. That was like 4 years ago or 3 years ago or something. But playing Song against Scott is basically how we met.
Mm-hmm.
And I've met some of the people in chat. Yep, even you, Lovable Oaf. But there are also people who are attracted to these games that aren't good people, are expressly bad people, and have to be called out as bad people. And it sounds like you ran into one of these bad people. Yeah, and Azathoth is correct. If you let the Nazi kids keep coming back, eventually they bring their friends, and then eventually your store is the place that all the Nazi kids hang out at. I don't think you have to meet that with actual physical violence, though. Designated Andy. You just have to make it really clear that those kinds of attitudes are not welcome in that kind of shared space. And most of the time, that solves the problem. Heavy stuff towards the end of the stream. That's what's going on here. While Scott blows on his mini and Evan waxes poetic about excluding Nazis from miniature wargaming.
It's good. We're doing good stuff right now.
Doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, truly.
How are you feeling about this mini, Scott?
I am scared for the calling the model. Well, no, I'm scared for the 1 hour and 10-minute trials because there's a lot of shit on this model. I don't know if it's gonna look good. We will find out. Trying to decide between painting. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna paint the copper metallic first before I do the blue wash on the TMM. Let's do that. All right, where is our stuff? Is this it? Oh, wow. Gotta take shortcuts. Oh yeah, I mean, I absolutely will, but I just remember last time I did this thing, I specifically told myself to pick a model that didn't have a lot of detail on it so that the 10-minute trial would be like possible.
And then you didn't do that this time.
And I didn't do it this time, yeah, exactly.
Abu Chris says, there are bad people everywhere. What I wonder is why the lacking in personal hygiene types statistically are overrepresented in gaming stores. I think there's a lot of potential answers for that. Probably not a right one. But it's definitely true.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. Although I will say that I don't experience it that much.
I think it's gotten better. I think that stereotype being a thing has solved a lot of that problem.
Ooh.
Not entirely, but when I was a kid, I remember it being a thing way more. Shout out to Phoenix Games back when it was on Lake Street, like 2 decades ago. That was my gaming store growing up.
Okay.
And definitely met some really, really horrible smelling people, both on Lake Street and in that store. So.
I remember we were at one of me and Chris were playing at a tournament, and there was a person who was playing Curtis, and he was playing in the corner of the store, and Curtis was in the very corner, and his opponent was opposite him. And Curtis told me that he felt like he was trapped in the corner by this person's smell, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's so powerful!" To feel physically trapped by someone's odor. My God.
Yeah.
Turn off. Excellent.
And we are just about at the end of the stream here.
Hey.
And I think we're just about at the end of the mini, aren't we?
I mean, yeah, I got the base coat, the copper, and I'm gonna wash it. I'm gonna do some very simple highlights, and then it's done. I think probably another 20 minutes, and we'll be done. More close to that.
Yeah.
And then I will paint the 1 hour and 10-minute trial tomorrow, and then I'll start editing the video. This copper is super orange.
It is quite saturated.
Yeah. Almost like a rosy gold.
I mean, I would say that that's like what I would call a true copper color.
You think so?
A lot of things that call themselves copper are like what I would call an aged copper, like a more brown color.
Okay.
An old penny, that's like fresh penny color.
All right. That's what the paint should be called, fresh penny.
Fresh penny.
How long do we have to get ours in? Yeah, I don't know
What are you talking about?
I don't know what you mean. Yeah, you gotta be more
Oh,
descriptive.
do you mean the challenge for this? The 10 hour, 1 hour, 10 minutes? That's a quarterly challenge.
Yeah, so you have until the end of the quarter to do it, but I think he's asking if you're a patron and you do the quarterly challenge, I was gonna feature those attempts in this video. And I think he's asking how long we have to actually do that. And the answer,
okay, yes, that is what he's talking.
yeah, I think probably, so today is Tuesday, tomorrow is Wednesday. I would say you have until, to be safe, you want to finish tomorrow. You might be able to get in on Thursday. It depends how long I'm taking to edit the video. Okay. Wanted to paint this thing in the middle of his helmet, a nice fun coppery color. Break up all that silver a smidge. Break up that blue.
I can tell you that mine will not be featured in the video because I haven't started. So,
Do you do the quarterly often?
I haven't yet, but I think I'm gonna do this one. I've got so many song minis to paint anyway.
There you go.
I don't think I've ever painted a mini for more than about 4 hours.
I mean, that is probably the ideal amount of time to paint a song mini, like really nicely.
Yeah. The song stuff, the longest is probably about 2.5. And that was kind of because I did some repaint stuff. Most of the horses, I limit myself to 2 hours max. Individual figures, 1 hour's max. And that's only for heroes. Other stuff, I'm trying to go fast. The current quarterly challenge, Dan, is the paint the same mini 3 times, once taking 10 minutes, once taking an hour, once taking 10 hours, but in the opposite order of that. So that's what Scott's working on right now. It's a repeat of a prior topic.
Mm-hmm.
Retreading old ground, recycled ideas, nothing new. It's basically a reboot.
Basically.
Yeah.
Season 3 of Stranger Things.
Well, there's still plenty of time left in the quarter, Dan. It's just if you want to get it done in time for the video talking about it, not a lot of time. But I think I will do this one. I think it's a valuable exercise for sure.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it, just to be able to compare contrast paint to normal painting, to figure out like what can I replace with contrast paint or a similar product, and feel okay about it. Feel like I'm not phoning it in or getting a result that's like super far from what I'd be capable of doing if I spent a couple extra minutes.
I think there's also value in showing people the 3 different minis and asking them which one they think is which.
Yeah.
Because that will tell you a lot about if your time is being well spent in your painting endeavors, I think. I don't mean showing random people, by the way. I mean, like, go on the Discord and ask them what they think.
Yeah.
Because if your hour mini actually looks better than your 10-hour mini, that's important to know, and also why that's the case. Because then that next 10-hour mini is going to look way better.
Yeah. There's also something to be said about like the kind of hobbyist you are. It's actually this really interesting thing I noticed, because I saw people were starting to post their attempts in the chat. And I would say if you're a beginner painter, you're going to see less of a difference between your 10 hour, your 1 hour, and your 10 minute.
That's definitely true.
Because you just don't know what to do with that amount of time. Like, what do I need 10 hours for to paint a model? And it's like, I could paint this model for 20 hours. But like a beginner's not going to know what to do with that. And so like the more experienced you are in painting, like obviously the different your results are going to be. But the catch-22 of that is if you want your models to look different and you want to know what to be able to do with those 10 hours, those 20 hours, then you have to paint more models. You learn more, you become better, and then you will start to see a difference.
Yeah, and I remember around AdeptiCon, some people were lambasting that skink that won the Slayer sword.
That beautiful.
It's amazing.
Skink.
But I think that comes from recognition of that is what you can do with more time. If you know what you're doing, is you can keep elevating a very simple miniature to just looking incredible when you get up close to it and start understanding what's going on there.
Yeah.
Whereas with, I think, a very amateur painter is going to look at that and not recognize just how perfect that thing was.
There definitely is some of that, but I would say that even a beginner painter could look at that model and be like, holy shit, like that's amazing.
I mean,
And
you're going to recognize that it's good looking.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to be able to separate why that is a more impressive paint job than other ones on display potentially. Because you lack the critical tools to understand just how pristine that thing was.
Yeah. Lovable Oaf asking, how are the cages holding up? Well, I'm not dead yet, so I suppose that means they are holding up well.
Just realized there's no like safety wire on these things, is there?
No.
Mm-hmm.
But there never was.
Mm-hmm.
There never was at my home, and I never experienced even the slightest issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I told, what's the name of the company? Fuck. Whatever company we're using the fittings from, which I can't remember at the moment. I said, this is the amount of weight. Do you think we need more,
Steel Tech.
Steel Tech? I was like, do you think we need more, whatever, strength? And they were like, no. If you use the pipes that are the right diameter, which I am now, we swapped that out, this should be fine.
Yeah.
So
It could be an earthquake, those guys.
yeah, do I put my trust in these people? Hey.
Computer. Shut up. Wild.
I probably should do something more, because it's not just me that I am trying to protect at this point. It's also other people. So I should probably do my due diligence and put some kind of cabling up there to
We need to start giving people waivers that come in here.
probably, yeah. The ceiling may kill you. Yeah, as thought
Maniac
also, right?
LLC accepts no liability or responsibility for any injuries to any participants on Kill Your Friends.
Exactly.
You consent to being stabbed to death after you lose to Curtis.
What am I doing?
The true single elimination tournament.
Right, yeah. At the end, the camera rig kills you.
We have constructed a very large, very abstract guillotine with a bunch of camera equipment on it.
Someone else said, trapped under steel tech, coming soon. We're all gonna die. Oh, wait, come back up. Hey. Okay. So I think that painting, oh no, the paint was still wet. I think that doing this copper really changed what the model looks like. This is just so much orange now on the front. I'm gonna apply that wash and we'll see where we're at.
Yeah, and someone was I meant to highlight it, but they asked if you like to use washes over your true metallics.
I do.
Yeah.
So long as you're gonna reapply the metallic back over top of it, or if you're using some kind of glossy wash, because a wash, most washes people use are matte in nature, and so you'll often get I don't know, you'll get a matte looking metal, which doesn't really look like anything other than gray. And so yeah, I like to do it such that I'm still preserving that nice shiny TMM look. All right.
Are you still on your mark, Scott? There we go. Actually, just shifted the whole thing because of that.
Yeah, this is where my tape is. Thank you.
Yep. Slowly creep away. Need like tactile bumps that your hands are supposed to rest on or something.
That'd be nice. And also ergonomic. All right, I'm gonna use the hairdryer.
Just as God intended.
Look.
Don't drop it.
Almost did.
Saw that.
All right. I forgot I wanted to paint this little spherical thing on the back of his shield, and then we'll apply the wash. I'm gonna use Drakenhof Nightshade. And I think I will try to add a little bit of glossiness to the wash. I don't think they make a glossy version of Drakenhof Nightshade. I could also use Payne's Gray, an oil wash, which maybe I'll do. Fuck it, let's do it.
I love me some oil washes.
Let's do some oil washing. Okay. Payne's Gray. What else do I need? I need a little bit of this. I should have some mineral spirits in a dropper bottle that I just refill occasionally. I think that'd be smart.
That's exactly what I have in my painting kit to go.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
It is currently unlabeled, which is bad. Since I know that it's the only unlabeled dropper in my top, I'm good.
Can you show me the top-down camera?
Can I?
Yes.
Yeah, I can.
'Cause I'm gonna.
Do you want me to?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're in the middle of making a YouTube video here.
Oh,
so
gotcha. Gotcha.
I need to actually record some stuff to these cameras.
Beep, boop.
Oh no!
Oh boy. Big shifts.
Hold on, let me just fuck with it more until I get what
Do you
I
not
want.
have like a remote record button for those?
Oh, terrible? No?
I think, well, we've got a lot of direct glare off of the cutting mat right now.
Yeah. I have a remote record for the painting cam, but not for the other ones.
You want a piece of matte paper to put under that?
I'm not getting glare off of this. This is just a primer.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, you're right.
But that doesn't mean that it doesn't look bad as a backdrop. This is a very dark color, but it is blue, I promise.
WASD28 wants to know if you use a macro lens for
I don't.
footage.
I do not use a macro lens for my video camera, or for my
Miniature
other.
photography.
Yeah, my miniature photography camera.
Isn't that like the exact opposite of what you generally want from miniature photography?
Yeah, generally speaking.
It lets you get real close, which can let you place yourself in the world of the miniature, so to speak. But also means it's harder to, like, you know, capture it in a not warped way.
Yeah. Macro photography is beautiful, and if you wanted to like photograph like the face of a model, you could do that with a macro lens. But it's hard to do things and think at the same time. The problem is nothing's in focus.
Is this not in focus? I'm not looking at it.
Oh no, it is. It is.
Oh, we're talking about the macro lens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what is your regular paint to thinner ratio for your oil washes, Scott? Do you have a secret recipe?
I do not have a secret recipe. I don't really know. Turn this camera off. I do know that a variety of thicknesses works. And depending on the kind of effect you're going for, you will dilute your oil wash different than others. And I know for this one I'm doing right now, I want it to be more of a pin wash, and so I'm going to make it a little bit thinner than I normally would. But I can't make it so thin such that the paint splits. Like you might notice if you thin an oil wash too much that it looks a little grainy. And I think generally speaking, that's bad. And it can happen more easily with lower quality oil paints. And I have some pretty nice ones here, so I don't think I'm gonna be struggling with that too much. But yeah, let's give this a shot. I'm not gonna put this in my water cup, despite really wanting to. We're gonna set
Oil
it aside.
washes also have an advantage of you can actually thin it on the model if you've done it too thick.
That's true.
In the way that you can modulate them with additional white spirits. I love oil washes. I love to ruin my minis with oil washes.
Speaking of, I'm gonna get another little container here of just mineral spirits. All right. Shall we ruin this model with an oil wash? Come back. What happened?
I clicked the wrong button.
How could you?
I don't know why there's a button here to fade to black.
Oh, this is just an empty scene?
So in studio mode, you have quick transitions, and there's one that's fade to black.
Oh, okay.
Which is not tremendously useful. Do you varnish before oil washing generally?
No.
I don't either. It's steamy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think my brush is a little bit too loaded right now. Okay, that wasn't the greatest. Let's get some paint out of the brush, maybe a little bit less.
This is Payne's Gray.
Payne's Gray.
Very useful color.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Okay.
Kind of a cool gray.
Yeah. Always looking for ways to like subtly suggest a hue instead of just lobbing it into the paint scheme like a Neanderthal. Want to be more artistic about it. Okay. I will say it is, maybe I could do even more white spirits, mineral spirits. It's the same thing, right?
Yes.
Because it's staining the surface of the paint quite a bit, which is not a problem. I don't mind that at all. It's still doing what a wash should do. It's just not being very pin washy like I imagined it to be. Okay, thin it a bit more. Try again. I'll rinse out my brush here. grab some of this newly thinned stuff.
If you're having problems with acrylics rubbing off when doing an all-over oil wash, my recommendation is don't rub so hard, but also it may be an issue of adhesion between your layers. Sometimes some paints don't like other paints primers as much as they should. Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah, I haven't generally had issues with that in a long time, but the big one is the makeup sponges. They actually have a lot of traction. If you press down a little too hard, you're actually applying a lot more pressure than you think, in my experience. So that's my little pro tip as someone, again, who likes to ruin things with oil washes on the regular.
That's a solid tip. Acrylic paint gets stronger and stronger and stronger over time. So the longer you wait, the more the paint cures, the more abuse it can take.
Yeah.
But if, so in that case, the oil paint really isn't even the one doing the damage.
Yeah, letting it be fully cured is another.
Nice. It's very fucking nice. Ooh, yeah.
Another product I highly recommend. I like to mix my own oil washes in general, but I love Tamiya panel liner.
Yes.
Just can't quite get that consistency out of a self-made oil wash.
I was thinking about that today, and I was like, I wish I had other varieties
They
of.
make quite a few colors.
Do they? Do they make a Payne's Gray one?
Yeah, I think they make like 2 different grays. I don't know if it's actually Payne's Gray,
Okay.
but it may be Payne's Gray.
Ah.
But I know that
Fuck.
they have some browns, they have black, they have like a dark gray and a medium gray. Tamiya panel liner is an enamel, but ultimately enamel and oil products for this kind of thing work very, very similarly. But that is a very, very useful tool. I'm still generally using oil washes for my minis, but for some stuff, Tamiya panel liner black, amazing, super useful.
Yes. I agree. Trying to wash a detail, I also put my oil paint brush in my water just as a reflex. Whoops. Not the worst thing. I'll just replace that water before I go back to it. Trying to wash this object that is in between, I don't know, 2 non-metallic things here. A little challenging. I was getting some wash buildup on the underside that then was sneaking into the like my cream tunic, which is problematic. But not easy to fix. I just put some white spirits on my brush and just brushed it right away.
Yep. That is the nice thing about oil washes. It's far, far, far more reversible than any sort of acrylic-based wash. You can still run into a little bit of staining, but it is not like the same where if you really hate what you've done with like Army Paint or Strong Tone, well, you're gonna have a real rough time repainting that whole area probably. And yes, I have been there.
There's a little eagle head on that. Wow. Oh, about doing it again. Love it. Oh, this is just a big old flat blade. I can just sop this stuff on, no problem. All right, cool. Now, where I started initially is a little bit more dried. So now what I can do is maybe brush off a little bit of that staining silver effect to reveal filigree on top, especially on these van braces. I think that's gonna work that way. Although I will say the silver I used in the beginning wasn't really that bright. I'm gonna take one of these not magic, but makeup Q-tip sponge things. I'm gonna dip it in some white spirits. I'm gonna dab a lot of that white spirits off. I don't wanna lie, I want a whisper of mineral spirits.
Oh, you've got the ones that react too. Where when you put in the white spirits, they swell.
Oh yeah, they get big.
Yeah.
Oh no. Maybe, what if I try it? Yeah, let's do a little experiment. I'm gonna try it on the other side, where I haven't. Interesting. I haven't used it yet. It's still wiping the oil wash away. You can see that on the sponge there.
Yeah.
And since there's less moisture on it, it has less of a capillary effect. So it's not soaking up that stuff in the recesses as much. So maybe that's a method.
I often don't use white spirit for cleaning up the highlights, particularly if I'm doing it this quickly. Like when I'm at mini painting night and I do an oil wash, I often let the minis sit for 2 hours before I start doing cleanup stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's my first thing I do on the night. I work on another miniature. I finish that other miniature to get it to the wash step, and then I come back to the original one.
Yeah, which that is also, that's another variable you can play with for oil washes, is how long to wait before you start wiping away paint. It's like, man, yeah, for something like this, these tiny little bolts, it's not gonna work out very, very well. My sponge is too thick.
Dan is up to 28 rocks.
28 rocks. The stream's gonna end here pretty soon, and I've been meaning to ask you guys this, if you've ever thought about it, but do you want us to host a particular person today? Any streamer you guys like? Those are rookie numbers. Even that recess shade in there nicely. Ugh, see, here's the problem. Now I wanna start highlighting this metal right now, but I can't. I have to wait. Oh my God, dude, this handle is bending the shit out of this base.
Whoa. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Is that just passively over time, or did the hair dryer help with that?
I think the hair dryer is the criminal here in this situation.
It's a lot of clamping force.
Yeah. And
Hashtag team double-sided tape.
yeah. That might have been a better idea. I don't know if I should try to put it differently in the grippy thing. Oh God. Maybe change its orientation so it puts pressure on it in a different place. It's seeming to want to pop out now though because of the fuck. All right. You gonna stay in there? You're definitely not gonna stay in there. I'm fucked. All right. Let's paint this base black.
Black.
While we wait for the oil wash to dry. It's a lot of poster tack. All right, let's ditch. Well, actually, let's wash out these oil wash brushes first. All right, I'm gonna go replace the water in my cup because I put oil paint in it.
Oh, that's what I forgot I was gonna do.
Remind me about that.
No, I was gonna do it
Oh,
while
okay.
you were working on that, and then I
Well-
started doing something else.
You didn't.
Yep. See, this is what you would be hearing, stream, if I didn't mute his mic when he goes to the bathroom. Except worse.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
My pee stream's pretty thick.
And sudsy. Got that aeration filter on there.
Got that Dawn soap, dude, on tap. All right.
Museum putty.
What a girthy stream. Very girthy.
That's true. We've gone long today.
I kick ass for the Lord.
Old gaffer chap. Thanks for the sub.
Old
Prime.
gaffer chap.
Prime sub.
We love the Prime subs.
Huge fan of Prime subs over here.
It's free money to pay our bills.
You want Evan to get paid? Sub now with Prime.
Yeah. I'm down. We get enough Prime subs, Scott's going to give me a raise.
I never said that.
Yeah. I see the numbers coming in. At some point, I can just rub my hands together and go, I'm a part of this.
I am necessary. I mean, we're kind of already there, not gonna lie.
Nice.
All right, I'm gonna turn on the hairdryer and then give us another coat of black, and then we'll call it a dizzy.
Sweet.
Ass for the Lord.
I'm struggling to try and figure out what this name is. Jaziak?
That's pretty good.
Sure. 442488. The numbers are important.
I mean, a person with a name like that can't expect much more than that, right?
I'm trying.
Yeah, I mean,
And they're giving us money. I mean, ultimately speaking, if you hand me, even though I know it's quote unquote free money for them, if you hand me that money, I will do my best to give you the respect pronouncing your name right. Or the respect of pronouncing it wrong on purpose for the memes. Whichever you prefer. Really? Penny Arcade is live and doing mini painting today.
Oh, let's fucking host them. I mean, absolutely, let's host them.
Yeah, Jerry is painting minis. Got 147 viewers right now. We can bump those up.
Hell yeah. Oh, I'm using the hairdryer.
Yeah, you are. I muted you. Okay, he's painting something from Kill Team. Kill Team Ruler. Who's he painting with? I don't recognize the other guy on the stream. Help me out, chat, if anyone's looking at both. Eric, it says, but I don't know who that is. So, yeah, just about.
Okay, let's take a look at this model. Can't finish it with some metallic highlights, but this is, I would say this is pretty close to what it's gonna look like anyways. You know, in the end, we kind of got to this really interesting orange and blue place. I am not hating. I think normally I would hate this. This like just kind of like in your face combination of two colors that are very, you know, kind of, you know, you would call them clashy. You might call them complementary colors. I don't know. It looks kind of pleasant to me. I feel like if it was like red and green, it would look not this pleasant. I feel like orange and blue are probably a little bit more special than red and green in that way. And it'll look even more different when I start to apply some highlights. I think I'm gonna try to tone out the copper with a little bit of citrine gold.
I was gonna say, do you want to make them look brighter, or do you want to make them look more worn? Because you could also take that aspect of like making the copper look like a, you know, a surface coating and chipping off and so on, some silver and so on.
I know I definitely want to do this. I definitely want to add some verdigris and rust.
That stuff is wild. Shout out right now. That rust is incredible.
Yeah.
It has changed my painting paradigm completely. I will never buy another rust product, bro.
Super expensive.
It's super expensive, but when you compare it to buying like 3 or 4 different paints to get the same sort of rust effect, it suddenly makes economic sense.
Yeah.
That stuff is crazy. I don't have the verdigris, so I'm gonna have to steal some of that bottle right there.
Absolutely.
Try it out, but that rust stuff, yeah, it's like $18 a bottle and worth every penny.
Yeah. And it's more blue, it's more orange, and so I figure that's also why I picked copper, because I can use verdigris on it, and introduce more blue in there, and then the orange on the silver.
What company makes that, Scott?
Dirty Down.
Dirty Down, that's right. UK company. There's a couple of suppliers that carry it here in the United States. It's expensive. If you come into the store on paint night, I will let you try out one of my bottles. I have 2. You can be wowed and amazed. Grimnark Compendium did a video on just how like amazing that stuff is, and I was instantly sold.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty good. So this is the citrine from Metal Alchemy, which is a scale of 75 line. I was thinking about mixing it into the copper to get just one level of highlight. I don't know how much this I'm gonna mix in, but just a little bit to make it more pale, less orange, but also brighter. And then highlight one time. And then do some of that rust effect, and then maybe like highlight on top of that again. Maybe reverse those. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this model. I think for 10 hours, it looks really nice. And I dread the 1 and 10 minute.
I feel like the 10-minute is the big enemy. I think you'll be able to make a 1 hour look pretty good on that thing. That's a lot of detail for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to combine some things here. So I feel like he has like a cloak for his fur, and then he has like another cloak under that cloak, because it's pretty cold in Viking
we got
times.
cloaks while you cloak.
I know, we got cloaks on cloaks. So I think I'm gonna have to make that one cloak color. Same with the shirt. The shirt's gonna be one color, no trim. One metallic color, no 2 metallic colors. One scabbard color, you know, just a lot of just simplification of the paint scheme in terms of the amount of hues used is gonna save some time.
This is the sort of model with these intricate details that will benefit from a contrasty method, though. Because contrast paint has a lot of grooves and things to get something out of.
Yeah.
You look really confused for a second there. You were looking at your monitor like it just lied to you.
No, I wasn't doing that. I mean, maybe I was. Yeah, I don't know. That'll be it for this stream today, guys. Shout out to whomever won the giveaway. I can't remember their name because we had to do another one.
It was Jachius. Something like that.
Okay. That sounds close enough. We'll catch you guys on the next Tuesday stream, where I'll be painting, I don't know, maybe not something for a video. The whole point of this stream was for me to paint fun things. And while this is fun, it is for a video, and it does make the video making process a little bit more challenging.
Jachius.
Jachius. Shout out to you, Jachius. But yeah. See you next Tuesday, same time, 1 to 4 p.m., same place, twitch.tv/Miniac. Yeah, and we'll host Penny Arcade Expo today. Hope you guys have an amazing evening. If it's already the evening, hope it already is amazing. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you a week from now. Peace.
Bye.